Start recording
Man,
this. There we go.
let me see.
Oh fuck. It looks like there's a 40-minute limit on this, huh? Do you know about that?
Um, yeah, I think I know about that.
I did not know about that.
Me
It is
too.
what it is. I think that so I'm on the I'm on the
I think
free.
it'll tell you upgrade for a second or some shit. It might tell you that. I'm not sure.
So what,
We'll
like
see.
at the 40-minute mark, what, it just shuts off?
I will give us a warning 10 minutes prior, and then I
Okay.
think it will give you an option to extend.
Fucking hell, that's cheap as fuck, wallah.
It's free, bro.
Right. I guess I gotta get on the other one, don't I? Dude,
Yeah, if you're gonna
yeah?
be doing more virtual podcasts, yeah, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But fuck. I got a little bit tied up today, Milk.
Uh,
And I was fucking ridiculous yesterday. I should have gotten on this yesterday, but I was trying to, like, the last 30 minutes get everything set up and all this bullshit. For a second there, I
yeah,
didn't even know if this mic was gonna work.
it's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it's been a fucking minute, man. And I just got back to Austin a couple of days ago. So
Did
it's
you
been
go on like a self exploration, bro?
so all right, let's start this. Let's start this
I feel, bro. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's just discuss. Let's have a conversation.
let's start this podcast. The Nowhere Experience number 7. Bro, right before I started shooting this, I was actually thinking about what the hell to call you. Fatah, Hassan, Lion, like what? Is it just me, or is it like you got like 6 different names?
Bro, I got different identities for different personalities.
What the? That sounded way more dysfunctional than it probably is.
But these days, bro, honestly, I introduce myself as Hassan because at the end of the day, that's my legal name, right? Um, that's what I do business as. Um, Everything
Okay.
else was just kind of personal or like a joke, you know. I'm actually looking for a new Instagram username because I want to throw that whole lion shit away, you know, and be
Yeah,
more.
yeah. You outgrown that for sure.
Yeah, bro, I just can't figure out a new Instagram username. Seriously, bro,
Yeah, it
I've
took it.
been.
I thought about it too. Like, you know how, like, a one name, like Beyonce, Drake, Madonna, like that one
I,
solid hit. That shit's
I
not
was
easy.
I
Like,
was actually I was just trying to get the at just Hassan. No fucking way you smoke cigars now too.
do you?
Bro, I smoke cigars, bro.
Fuck, bro. That's the one thing I don't like about being back in the U.S. right now.
Yeah.
I was in Europe for a while, and everywhere in Europe you can find good Cuban cigars.
Bro,
Nowhere in the U.S. do they have good Cuban cigars.
where did I start? When I was in Kenya, bro, my friend, he moved out to Kenya from Minnesota, and we would just go out to different cafes and all that kind of stuff. And one day he just pulled out a cigar. He's like, "Bro, cigars are really very different." And then I started seeing Andrew Tate talk about cigars and all this stuff. Then I had a cigar with him, bro, for like 2 hours, bro. I finally understood why people smoke cigars. It's such a great conversational like outlet, bro. Now I'm mad, bro. Fuck, bro. I wish I had
You
my
should have, yeah, you should have scooped one.
bro. As my homie, I'm with my homie here. Every single day I've been smoking a cigar.
Dude, it's for me, it's like, I don't even know how I got into it. I got into it, I think, like a year ago when I used to live in
Yeah,
Minnesota.
yeah,
And I remember it. I don't know what the hell inspired it, bro. I was driving back from St. Cloud to the cities, and
yeah.
let me grab a cigar today. And I literally, the problem with Minnesota is they don't actually have actual cigar shops.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't find any. I found a couple, but it's like, the smoke shops or whatever, where they sell vapes and all that other shit. And then they
There's
have, like,
there's one on Lake Street. You know where Carmel is? Like
yeah,
literally a block. I
like an
gotta figure
actual
out what.
cigar shop.
It's like
Like,
a cigar lounge. There's also one.
really?
Yeah, bro. It was really dope. I went there with one of my boys before I had left. Actually, he was in town for like a few hours. Just went there, had some
Was it nice?
cigars. It was a really nice vibe, bro. I feel like I don't know, bro. It just creates this connection between men. I,
Yeah.
I
No,
don't know what it is.
I love cigar shops. I mean, Europe's cigar shops are way better than the US cigar shops. Like I've been to all the major states, all the major cities in the US, and the cigar shops are just kind of basic compared to like European cigar shops. They go all out in Europe. They're like it's dude in London, man, there's a whole vibe. Everyone is dressed well. People like
Yeah.
serve drinks. It's clean. The music is elegant. London is a
Wow.
vibe.
Bro, I actually want to go experience that. Like the cigars in Kenya and even in Mexico, they're just not as good. But the other day, I found a nice lounge that actually sells real Cubans, and
Mm,
because the other shit that I was going to, it was really cheap. I'm like, yo, this is weird. This like it's not even good, you know.
yeah.
And then when I went to this other spot and bro, it was actually hitting. Like I was actually just
How expensive are the cigars, the Cubans in Mexico?
um it really depends on the quality. The ones that I recently had, they were starting at anywhere between like 40 to maybe,
Yeah.
a thousand, like a couple $100.
Yeah, those are London prices too. London is their cigars are so expensive.
Yeah,
Like
bro.
there's I mean, it's so expensive. And the guy that runs the cigar lounge there was telling me that London has the most expensive pricing on their cigars because of the importing and whatnot. Because everything there is taxed based on weight, as opposed to like however else everyone else does it.
Yeah,
But it's
man.
so expensive. But it's yeah, it's dude, it's one of those things like now every time I'm just doing something that's chill, like if I'm
Yeah,
reading or writing or like doing
yeah,
simple shit,
yeah.
cigar will take any normal thing into like a good chill spot where it just becomes more chill. Like just sitting there alone doing nothing is dead. But I could sit on my balcony for 2 hours with just a cigar doing nothing. It's just so it just makes everything chill.
It's more chill than like smoking hookah or like vaping. It's just like
Yeah.
it's not the same concept.
Ruka is so childish.
Imagine niggas just like
Just
putting
puffing
like
his shit.
a lollipop in their mouth, bro, all day, just like
Oh
just,
man.
you know.
I remember I had this when I used to live in St. Cloud, I had this friend and one day he's like, "Yo, come hang out, whatever." And I knew he just started smoking hookah, but
Yeah,
I was like, "Whatever, all right, let's go." And I knew the other guys he was hanging out with went over to the house. Everybody was smoking, and I got this was like 6 years ago. I got
yeah.
straight peer pressure situation going. The shit gets handed to me. I puff it. I'm expecting like something. You know what I mean? I'm expecting a biological reaction of some sort. Maybe I get relaxed. Maybe something happens. Bro, an hour in,
Yeah,
we're still puffing this shit, and I feel so stupid. Just puffing
bro.
air practically. Like it was just ridiculous. It was nothing.
Bro, when I started smoking cigars, and then I, I just started to see hookah as like a stupid thing, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's not the same experience, bro. Even the type of people who do those things, like somebody who smokes a cigar, the conversation between that person versus somebody who smokes hookah is completely different.
That's sad, but that's funny. That's so
Bro,
true.
only real niggas would understand
Bro,
that, you know.
who smokes hookah?
Ooh,
Motherfuckers are always hilarious with this shit, bro. It's niggas that come together, sit on a couch, and watch music videos.
bro.
Ah,
Oh my god,
grown
bro,
ass
niggas,
niggas want to sit around a couch watching music videos and saying nothing. That shit's hilarious to me. And it's always rap, like niggas with wearing masks. Just
well, like when you think about it, like it is pretty fucked up, bro. It's just
it's
like,
a
yo,
clown. That's why I
it's
said it was childish.
yeah, bro. That's some clown shit, bro. It's crazy.
But
Oh
no,
my god,
no
bro.
hate, no hate to my boys. I know some guys that do smoke. I know a couple of guys that do like to they like to go to like the hookah lounges.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think that's a step up from like when niggas come together in the apartment. That one I don't get. When you go to a hookah lounge, I've been to hookah lounges. Some of them are really nice. Some of them serve
yeah.
food, drinks. Like
Definitely ones outside of Minnesota. like outside of America, so nice actually. It's
Yeah,
really great.
Europe is nice. Dude,
Yeah.
Europe is so wild. I was in Europe for like a month and a half or so,
Tell
and
me, bro, why what, like why were you there?
I got tired of the US. So I left Minnesota in November, December, around Christmas time last year, 2022.
Yeah.
And I just threw everything in my apartment away, took my, my car, I have a Dodge Challenger. So I took
Yeah.
whatever the Dodge Challenger, whatever I could fit in there. And then I just hit the road, man. I just started in Chicago, then California, Arizona, Texas, like all over. And that
Bro,
lasted for like 6 months. Like I spent a week in every state pretty much.
no
And
way, bro.
yeah, it was the weirdest time of my life, bro. Because it was like probably the realest time of my life.
Yeah.
It
Were
was so,
you just like alone or
yeah, completely
wow.
alone. And like I went kind of, I wouldn't say dark on social media. I was still on the app, but I wasn't uploading anything. I wasn't saying anything. And it's hard for me to use the app if I'm not uploading shit.
Yeah,
But
so you just kind of tossed it to the side.
yeah, I just kind of forgot that it was even on my phone. Every now and then I would remember, like, hey, you're supposed to be posting shit. So I'd hit it like with some random post or some shit, that didn't even make any fucking sense. But yeah, it was me, dude. I put so many miles on my car. My car right now, I fucking love that car. It's almost at 200,000 miles.
That's insane.
Yeah, I drove like, I don't know, 30, 40, almost 30,000 miles or something like that in 2023. It was a
Well,
lot.
I mean, that's what cars are meant for, bro. Like if you don't put used to it, what's the point? You
Yeah,
know?
the stupid thing is like I've gotten emotionally attached to my car, which is kind of childish. Like, like, bro, I was on the road. I was on the road just like a truck driver, but not getting paid for like 6 months, barely working. I'd stop at a Starbucks every couple of
Uh,
hours a day or something like that. And I
yeah,
was mostly just driving, listening to books, listening to music, barely talking to people. So especially at night, like I had a thing where at night I wouldn't listen to anything. And
yeah,
bro, I couldn't tell you how many conversations I had with my car. Which is ridiculous to say out loud, but I mean, it was real. You know what I mean? I had so many conversations with my car to the point where now I'm like actually emotionally attached to my car. And I'm like, holy fuck, we're not getting to that 200K mileage standpoint. My boy's probably running out of time here. And I can get another car. I can get a car just as nice as this one. But it's
yeah,
like, I don't want another car. I want this motherfucker to keep running. It's fucking ridiculous. But so, like, after 7 months or so, I was
yeah,
like, okay, now I've seen the US. The US is like the same. Every state is identical. Like there's
yeah,
everywhere you go, it's the same shit. One
yeah.
thing that blew my mind was how similar, you'd think like when you go to a different state, the people would be kind of different and shit.
They're not.
They're not, bro. It's like the Panda
Yeah,
Expresses, the Starbuckses, the Walmarts, the Targets, they're everywhere and they all hire the same type of people. So it's like you
right.
only see the same type of people. And I think it was like I don't know, May or something like that, where I was like, all right, I gotta take off from the US. It's been 15 years since I left this country. And I remember like a couple of friends came here, spent a few days with me. And then the day before they were flying out, I booked a flight to Lisbon, Portugal.
Yeah.
Started in Portugal, then Spain, Italy, all the way up to Scotland. And it was
Wow.
it was it was fun, man. It was fun. It was cool. I liked it. It definitely fit my solitary nature.
Yeah.
Learned a
No,
lot of shit.
that's why I'm always on the go, bro. Because America, bro, you learn after a while that it's actually not it, bro. Life, the quality of life in other places is so much better. That's I'm not in America right now.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
I had to leave.
The biggest thing I noticed was other places were created for beauty, whereas America is created for function.
Crazy. It's like a fucking corporate ladder. Like it's just corporate.
Yeah, there's
It's
there's a real lack of beauty in America, which is just
facts,
fucking
bro.
mad. Everywhere you go, there's just like right now I'm in Austin, Texas, and every day when I hit the roads, I realize, and it's clear as day to me just how not beautiful this bitch is. Like it's just not beautiful. Like when I was driving in Lisbon, bro.
Yeah,
It's like the streets they're not like just flat pavement. You know, it's like what do they call cobblestone streets, and everyone's just driving on them.
here too,
It's
bro. It's
in Mexico.
yeah, it's like fucking this side of Mexico. I've been to a few different cities in Mexico. I'm in Puerto Vallarta. This place is like built on kind of like mountains, and
Mm,
it's weird. It's like you got these like rock roads and shit, and every single Uber ride is like this. You know, like you just
yeah.
kind of like it's not still, but it's still beautiful.
Dude, I wanted to go to Latin America, but I'm like, it's looking iffy over there right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, how do you do every person I know that's been to Mexico has gotten into some shit. every, every person I know, like I remember one of my friends was there not long ago, and they got into some shit because they rented what are they called? Like jet skis.
Yeah.
And something happened and they ended up having to cough up like 8 grand or some shit like that. And
Yeah. We went on a boat the other day, and well, my friend just like he bumped into the glass thing that holds like the steering or some shit, and it broke, and they wanted their money and all that shit. You know, like something always happens in Mexico. You know what I
any
mean? But it's
chance they're
like,
out there like making that shit hell like they're making it in the cheap way or something where they know
it's
shit's
so
gonna
cheap, bro.
happen.
Bro, it's so cheap, bro. Kenya is worse, but I out of all the places I've been to, bro, Kenya was my ultimate favorite, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've always kind of felt weird about going to first of all, I'm like the worst vacation person. Like I'm the
yeah,
worst trip taker or whatever. Like I don't do shit when I go anywhere. I'm like I'm
yeah,
or I was in Miami last week with my friend. I told him, I'm like, bro, you come out with me, you better have some shit like ready. You better have some shit planned. Because you come with me, we're not doing shit.
bro.
We,
There was this video on Instagram. I saw this guy was like, to the people who travel, why do you want to do activities? You know, some of us don't want to do activities. That's my friend is like, let's go jet ski, bro. Let's go Paris. I'm like, bro, I don't want to do activities.
I
I
just
just want to, I just want to chill, bro, and just enjoy the nature and go work at a cafe and just like maybe smoke a cigar, just relax.
I
Like,
just act like I live there.
bro, I'm such a local, bro. Wallahi, I mean, bro, I dress like the locals, bro. I feel like the locals.
I just I have a WeWork. I have a WeWork membership,
Yeah,
and these fuckers are everywhere. So
literally.
I'll literally rent an Airbnb or some shit and find the WeWork, find the coffee shop, find the gym, and that's my routine while I'm there. And then like there's always a restaurant nearby somewhere too. And I'm the worst. I don't want to try new food and shit. I just want to find one place that I'm gonna eat at while I'm there. I want to work out. I want to go to the same WeWork, and then on occasionally I want to go to the coffee shop and work, and then just come home in the evening. And then there's always like you got to find a masjid nearby.
Yeah,
But
that's the bad thing about Mexico is there's no Mexican.
really,
They're not in this city. Not even one, bro.
ooh,
It's really bad out here, bro. Um,
damn,
but
that's
in other
crazy.
man, in other countries, bro, like when I went to the Middle East, for example, there's a masjid in every corner.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm looking forward to about the Middle East.
Bro,
Because
it's the greatest experience, bro. Plus the quality of life there, bro, is much better. It's very good, bro. Even in Kenya, bro. Kenya, there's a lot of masjids. Although it's not like an ideal Muslim country, there's
yeah,
a lot of masjids as well. Um,
yeah, that's one
but
thing I
man,
really liked about Europe is even when I got into, bro, I was in Portugal and I went to a masjid where they only spoke Portuguese. That was
insane.
so cool.
The
Yeah,
khutbah was in
yeah. In
Portugal,
Italy, they
Portuguese,
only spoke Italian. In France, they only spoke French. It was so it's like I couldn't understand shit, of course,
but
but
it was
it's
cool.
live. Yeah, Portuguese. Portuguese is such a weird word, a weird language, because
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like they're saying shit. It just sounds like a bunch of sounds. You know, it's like you know, it's like this is but like when somebody's giving a whole lecture, it's a vibe, man. I really wanted to go to Germany to hear a German
yeah,
or Russia to hear a Russian sermon because
Oh my God.
those are mad aggressive.
I would love to go to Russia, bro. I think that's just so like a different outer world experience.
Dude, you know why I want to go to Russia?
Uh,
Have you seen Andrew Schultz talking about when he was in Russia?
maybe, maybe.
Dude, this guy was like the average girl that you see walking the street is like the hottest girl in America.
Yeah.
He's like the average girl that you run into in Starbucks is like will make Margot, what's her name, Margot Robinson, the
Yeah.
actress. He's
Yeah.
like, she'll make her look like a fucking five or some shit. I was like,
Bro.
what? Margot's pretty damn pretty. I'm like,
So pretty, bro. I think it's, bro, women outside of America, well, either actually like heaven sent, bro. It's like lane, bro. You're like, damn, if this is like
bro,
this here, what's in paradise?
dude. I thought I like so. A lot of my friends actually don't find American girls that attractive, right?
Yeah.
I'm on the camp that does find American girls very attractive. My
Yeah,
first girlfriend was a Adan girl. It was a white girl when I was in elementary school. Still
mine was
remember her
that.
name.
Mine was she was Vietnamese, bro. Literally, it was like third grade, bro. Her name was Kathy, bro. I never forget.
Damn, third grade?
Yeah, bro. I remember
What's that
Kathy,
like?
bro.
What's that like? 7 years old? 8 years old?
Something, bro. I was just attracted to her. She was cute. Crazy that isn't it crazy that we can feel that at such a young age?
Dude, I was in Africa when I was Africa was such a wild place when I was a kid. What the
Oh my
fuck, man?
goodness.
I was such a wild kid because you know how like in America there's back then, I don't it's not the case now, but back then if you were to get into a girl with anything like that, it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like you had to like each other or whatever and all that. When I was in Africa, it was like I don't want to out my people like this, but it was so fucking wild that people were just having sex everywhere, every time, all 8 months. And it was so ridiculous, bro. And I lived in a refugee camp and there were condoms everywhere, bro.
That's
Everywhere. I
insane.
was like 8 years old, 9 years old. Everyone I knew was having sex at 8 years old, 9 years old. It was so wild, lie.
Insane, bro. I think it's probably still the same, bro, in some ways. But if you haven't went back, right?
Now I'm going back in December.
Bro, if you go back, you're gonna realize how like they've culturally adapted. It feels like you're in America, but the quality of life is just a little bit better.
Yeah, that's what I hear. You probably don't know. My friend Abdaziz was just there a couple months ago, sending me photos
Yeah,
and videos and all that shit. But I feel like if I go there, I won't be like I've seen you when you were in Africa. You
yeah.
take nice vacations, bro. You take like right now where you're at. I seen the pictures, man. I'm like, what the fuck? You taking proper holidays, like proper vacations, where you're probably like in a situation where the sun is hitting your spot at the right time, the fucking trees and everything is with you. You got that pool and all that. Like, you're taking a
Yeah.
proper vacation. I've never taken a
Bro,
proper vacation.
that's the thing, bro. I think when I travel, bro, like I want to experience everything in the best way I could possibly. You know, I don't wear like designer clothes and designer shoes and all this type of stuff. My money, like when I go to enjoy it, I'll go spend it on like travels and experiences and first class, and the things that I would really remember because of that feeling, right?
Dude,
Like,
I was like, first of all, respect. Because
yeah,
clearly there's something different between you and me in terms of kahunas. I was looking at the prices for first class tickets when,
yeah,
when I was going to Portugal. The motherfuckers are not a joke.
no,
It's, bro, I'm like, I was literally looking at them. I'm like, people out here, because it's a flight. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
it's not like it's a flight. 8 grand, 9 grand, 7 grand, 6 grand.
yeah,
I'm like, I don't know if I
bro.
love comfort that much. Like,
Bro, the thing is, right? I think everybody should experience like flying business class at least once in their life, right? No matter how expensive it is, bro. Because, bro, you feel like you just flew in luxury. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like
well,
most
okay.
people,
Tell me about it for real, for real. Like, what is it like?
yeah,
What's
bro.
the
I'll tell you exactly what it feels like to go fly first class.
okay?
First of all, you get to the airport, right? You are not like checking in your bag the same place that everybody checks in their bag. There's a
Really?
specific line, right? Just meant for first class and business and executives, right? So you
Okay.
go to that line, you skip all this line of people that are traveling, right? If if you've been to the airport and you see Delta Airlines, you know that there's always a long ass line of people, that's taking almost 2-3 hours just to check in. So you have to show up 4 hours prior, just to check in your bag. But you can show up, an hour prior before departure or whatever, and go straight to the line. You know what I'm saying? You don't have any issues. You check in your shit, and then boom. Once you check in your bag, you get your ticket, all that kind of stuff. And now the fun part starts where you're going through TSA as well. You don't go through the same line that everybody goes through. You're literally like, it's a completely different experience, right? Like the other day when I was coming to Mexico, I flew first class, right? Um, and me and my friend, we're literally like the TSA line is so long, bro. The regular line. We go to the freaking first class line. Wallahi billahi, like there was nobody there. There was nobody there at all, bro.
There
We
was
went through
nobody there
that shit.
paying 8K.
We went through that shit in 5 minutes, bro. That was the biggest convenience, bro, right? And then, once you get to the air, like once you check in, you go to you don't need to, you don't get to sit where everybody else sits, right? You can go into the lounge, right? Because now
Oh
you're a
yeah,
business, you're an
yeah,
executive, right? So
yeah.
in this lounge, number one, there's free food, bro. You get to have all that you can eat, right? You get to, chill, relax. There's the Wi-Fi there is better. You can shower there if you want, bro. Have you ever showered at the airport? Seriously,
No.
bro, you could. Yeah, I've literally showered before a flight, did my skincare, did everything, relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Just chilled. You could go sit in the massage chairs. You just relax. They'll give you pajamas, right? Actually, we'll get there. We'll get to that part. So you sit in the lounge, you eat everything, you're chill, you're relaxing. And then, when it's time to departure, you get into your flight, you check in way before everybody else checks in, right? Like you're basically just treated completely different from everybody else. It's like, you're like royalty or some shit. So you get on the flight. Once you get on the flight, everybody goes to the back of the bus. You go to the back of the plane, the front of the plane. So
Yeah.
you got people going this way, and then you're going this way because in business class, all the seats they're in the front row, and there's curtains hanging above, so
Right.
that nobody can even intrude and look even that way on what's going on. So once you get there, you kind of check your stuff in, and then that's when they hand you, your pajamas for the flight because usually this is a long ass flight. You get your pajamas and you get your slippers, and then you get a hot towel to clean your hands and relax. And then one of the flight attendants offers you, a drink. Would you like some orange juice? Would you like some whatever you want to drink? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, yes. You sit down, and then they bring you the dinner menu, bro. This is a freaking like a 4 course meal. So they bring you that dinner menu. Once you had your drinks, first thing you do, you placing your food for your dinner, and then afterwards, you just kind of relaxing, chilling, and then they also give you unique headphones that is just specific for business class, right? And once you get there, you're just kind of relaxing, you're waiting for your dinner, and then the flight takes off, and in an hour or so is when they usually serve dinner. Once they serve dinner, bro, you get your first meal. Then your first meal is usually like it's an appetizer. You either get like a salad, some bread, or whatever, and then after a little bit you get your main meal, and then a little bit goes by, you get another meal, and then finally you can order some desserts or whatever you want. And if you get hungry again, same process all over again. And then, after a few hours of flying, you just relax, watch a movie, whatever, you get to lay back down, right? Most people are sitting like this. You get to lay down like it's a bed and just relax and just watch whatever you want to watch. And then breakfast comes and it's the same thing all over again. They bring you a nice hot towel, you clean yourself up, all that kind of stuff. And then once the flight lands, you can either go into the lounge and shower and clean up so you can get to your destination, or you just go about your day. And once again, you pass through everybody. And because you're flying business class, you most likely have TSA or global entry, so you're not really waiting around for customs. and it's a completely different experience than flying economy.
I mean, it is actually a whole different. The whole pajama thing threw me off though.
Bro, you actually get pajamas, bro, and slippers and socks, and you get toothbrush, lotions, everything. They give you an entire like care kit.
Oh,
Honestly,
dude.
for me, it's always like it's the best experience, bro. If I'm going to Kenya, bro, I'm flying business class because it's I just feel so much better. You know, instead of taking 3, 4 days to recover from that long ass flight, now like by the time I land, I'm good. You know,
Right.
I can just go about my day.
Dude, one of the really tough things for me with flights, it, irrespective of how long it is
Yeah,
trying to sleep there.
it's really tough.
I can't sleep in flights for sure. Dude, I got into a place where anything more than 6 hours, 7 hours, I'll stay up the whole night. So I'll stay up the whole day, the day before, and stay up the whole night to catch the morning flight, hoping that by the time I get into the plane, I've been awake for like 25, 26 hours, that I'm just too tired. And so I knock out. But no, can't sleep for shit. I'll close my eyes. I'll do all the weird shit. But fuck, I wish that's the only thing that's appealing about first class. I know the seats are like you could
Bro,
recline
you
in the
get
back and
it's a full bed, bro. A nigga who's 6'3" can sleep peacefully. Seriously, bro.
yeah.
People like us, we're just relaxed, chilling, sleeping. Like for me, bro, it's that reset time, bro. I fucking hate flying, like especially economy, because it's just the worst feeling, bro. Like I hate that feeling, bro. You just feel tired, exhausted, out of it. Like
So
I want to be.
do you always fly private then?
I don't fly. I only
No, I
flew
meant I
private,
meant
like
first class. I
private.
meant first class.
I flew private a few times to experience it. I wish I could fly private all the time, but if I go international, yeah, I have any flight that I've taken for the last 4 years has been business class internationally.
1 second, bro. I'm trying to extend the because I just got the notification.
Oh, they gave it to you, yeah,
Yeah. So I'm trying to see if I can upgrade while this is still going. It's this bitch has started counting down for me on the
yeah.
corner. So is it $150? Okay, that's fun, eh? This will take 30 seconds. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. I think it might start it over.
No way.
Is it telling you that? Check.
No, it's
I
just it
hope
just
not.
it just it just said 5 minutes left. Upgrade now.
Oh, okay. Then maybe it should be good.
Even if it does start over, that's fine. I think this will be saved, and then we'll just
You
keep
can
going, and then I'll just
mash it
edit
together.
edit the other bitch into it. Yeah.
Okay.
There's an avenue. No worries. Yeah, I wish I thought of this beforehand, eh? Business account. Continue to payment. Dude, there's so much shit I'm paying for right now, which is so wild.
Bro, I checked my subscriptions like a few months ago. It's scary, bro.
Hey, let's go. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, the
Let's
meeting has
go.
been upcoded.
This
Awesome.
meeting, this meeting
How,
now has
how much
unlimited.
was it? Was it like $9?
No, it was like 160, $170 for the year.
Oh, you paid for the year.
Yeah, for the year. So which is straight, which is awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually a good deal,
Well, I'm glad I don't have to think of this shit again. It's like, yeah,
bro.
it
Isn't
turns out
that?
like $15 a month or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth it, bro. So, are you back now, like for real? So you gonna do more podcasts?
Yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully. Hopefully. But
Uh,
so there's a few things. My life is in like let's sort some shit out mode right now, you know?
yeah,
So like going back to the what we were just talking about, the how much shit you're paying for.
yeah,
I lost my phone when I was in Europe. So I came
Yeah.
back. I came back to this country 2 weeks ago. Came back, was in Austin for a couple of days, then went to Miami, and then came back. So I've only been here now for I think a little under a week. But one of the big things that I realized was everything is connected to my phone, like
Yeah.
everything. And
Yeah.
when I got back, stuff kept on getting declined or whatever. And then when I got my new phone, got my SIM card set up and all that shit, there was like a notification of approved for this payment, approved for that payment, approved. I'm like, what? Because like I've never, once in a while you'll get the notification that something was approved for, and if it's just like one thing, like T-Mobile was approved for or Hulu was approved for, you just swipe out of it. You don't really pay attention. But when you open your phone and you have like 16 notifications of
Yeah.
Hulu, Apple, Amazon, Planet
This
Fitness that I don't
software.
even use anymore, like so much shit that was getting approved for, I'm like, holy fuck. And I looked at how much money I'm paying on subscriptions per month, and it's practically my rent. Like I'm
Yeah.
paying the same as my rent just on like $10 subscriptions of this and that and this. I'm like, this is fucking insane.
Bro, it's crazy how much similar we actually are. I was telling my homie, bro, I just calculated my subscriptions every month. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't know how this happened. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how this happened.
It's the like something comes up like Peacock, for example.
Yeah.
Half of the Premier League games are on Peacock, and
Yeah.
I'm watching half of the games on there, half of the year, but I pay for the whole year. Like they take
Yeah.
like $8 or whatever every month, but
Yeah.
not even all the games are on there. And it's like it's just fucking ridiculous. So, but I did actually do a cutting. Like I just cut half the shit out. Just got
Yeah.
rid of
Same. Same, bro. I usually take a look at where the fuck I'm at financially every few months.
it. Yeah.
Because my main thing is always just like, okay, I know these are my monthly expenses, but then I always add shit on there because I'm always looking at new softwares, new things, new this, new that.
Yeah.
Um, so it's really annoying, bro. Actually, and usually I don't know what my finances look like until my accountant sends me like a
Yeah.
draft
The
of my
the monthly.
financials
Yeah.
for the month.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
have that. I have that for my business. So he'll send me the monthly report on the first of every
Yeah,
month. Send me the last month. I wish I had that for my personal.
bro. My personal I rarely I don't I only use my personal to like pay my rent and my car payment and everything else. Like other things usually just go through my
You
business.
one of them. It's a write off, niggas. I have a friend like that, bro. He's mad with that write off shit. Everything's
Bro,
a write.
I don't give a shit, bro. I'm gonna swipe that shit, bro. I don't care. Like
I like.
seriously.
I do. I fuck, dude. I never could have appreciated an accountant until I got one like 8 months ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised at how much shit they can write off. Like
It's yeah. It's
everything practically.
I think that was probably one of the best moves I made when I actually like started finding success in business was actually getting an accountant, bro. For some reason, bro, something just told me, bro, just do it. So
Mm,
for the last few years, I've been paying about $250 a month just for them to do my bookkeeping, and then at the end of the year, they do my taxes. But the last 12 months, actually, I had started a new business and I forgot to tell them, and we had to do all the
the back order
bookkeeping,
bit. Yeah.
back billing, all this type of shit, bro. And then they just sent me like an invoice for like $5,000.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just like,
annoying.
yeah, man, I fucking forgot. So I'm like, fuck it, you know. But they made it so much easier to just, fix my taxes, you know. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to sit here and think about the IRS right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just take it. You know what I mean? Take the money, and
Yeah. I like
that's
that bit.
one less thing I have to think about.
Yeah, I really like that bit. They really take care of everything, which is so dope. Like, not only do they take care of the tax, they even take they make it so that all you have to do is either
It's just
send them
time.
a check or say authorize the payment, and they
Yeah.
do the shit, which is so fucking dope. It's so easy. I love that. He sent me an email. I sent it back. I signed the e-sign thingy authorizing it, and he took care of it. And then like sometime later, I saw the payment went through on my account. And I was like, it
Yeah.
was so fucking deal. I didn't have to go to like some Somali dude in the back of a mall.
But if I had a fucking Somali account, believe me, I'd be on the news, bro. Because that guy,
Dude, my accountant is actually a Muslim dude. I'm so happy.
same, same,
I'm happy
same.
he's a Muslim guy, but I'm also happy he's not a Somali guy, bro. Them niggas be like, like, what do you mean? How about we don't do that, my boy? It's fucking.
Bro,
You never know. You never know if, like, dude, we've had conversations with Somali guys trying to do your taxes and shit. You
bro,
never know. You always leave there feeling a little like some shit
sus,
gonna,
bro.
something gonna come back. Like something gonna hit me.
Bro, they're just trying to do their best to try and get you a tax return. I'm like, bro, I'm not getting a tax return.
Yeah. That's the funny thing. They're always trying to make sure you get money back. I'm like, it's not possible. Like,
Oh my
I'm like, if I get money back, I'm definitely going to jail.
god. I'm definitely not getting a tax return, bro.
I'm like, what do you mean you're gonna get me something back? What?
Bro, them niggas are suspicious, bro. I don't know,
Oh
man.
my
It
god. You
makes me
can't tell me.
remember, the $200 million the food program shit, bro. All the niggas had Somali accountants.
Oh my god, bro. It was,
That's literally how they ended up in that situation, bro.
dude. You know the masjid? I don't want to say the masjid's name, but so the masjid I was going to when I was living in Hopkins,
Yeah,
the guy that runs the masjid, like the manager, I was sitting down with him one day and he pulled out his iPad to show me how many people were getting indicted and attacked and whatnot, how many people the feds were essentially going after.
yeah,
Practically every masjid in St. Cloud was in that list.
same, yeah,
Every masjid in St. Cloud, and half the guys in Minneapolis were in that list. I was like,
bro.
damn, we can't. If there's anything to do with fraud, any fraudulent activity going on, we can't not do it. Like, can you, like, once in a while maybe don't be a part of it? Like, you know what I mean? Oh,
Bro, the Somali community, bro, they're like, bro, I don't know what it is, but Somalis always make headlines, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this year it was the food program. What else was it? It was fucking, you know,
it was
that
a
girl running, the
daycare thing
girl,
for a
the
long time.
daycare shit, the girl running, right? The marathon girl or some shit, right?
What the hell was that?
Bro, I guess this like one of the Somali, office head of office people,
Yeah.
they needed like a girl, and he sent like his niece. He's like, go run his niece to go run a whole fucking track meet, and she just like embarrassed the whole country, bro.
Dude, I'm so like I'm out of loop with shit, you know. I'm
Yeah,
not really on social media. I don't really read the news, nothing. But I have
bro, it's
friends who send me shit. And my boy sent me that video. And I'm like, why are you sending me this video? He's like, that's the national, that's I'm like, what? That's Somalia's best? Are you kidding me right now? That's a joke. It's better for you not to even be in the competition than do that. Then there was there's the swimming thing too, right? A while ago.
I think so, yeah,
I'm like, what's going on? Oh
bro.
my god, bro.
One thing I wish Somalis cared about, like, doing
Quality?
something like quality and achievements more. Like they don't really care about achieving greatness, or
Yeah.
even fuck greatness, bro. They don't care about achievements. It's just like, oh, just anyway, whatever.
Let's just do something. Dude,
Let's just do
you
something,
know one
bro.
thing that annoys me? So
Yeah,
like for me, I'm actually like in always in this weird conflicted space with Somali people where it's like there's never been a group of people I wanted to win more,
yeah,
but I know it's like inevitable, the disappointment, you know? And so whenever I see a Somali person doing poetry or writing a book or a podcast or whatever, I always check it out. I always check it out. Every single time I've ever seen someone,
every single time, same,
I always check it out.
same.
And I'm always like, please let it be, let it. And every time, bro, I'm like, fuck, dude, are you serious? Like, there's this girl that did a book not long ago. She wrote a book and she was selling it on Amazon. And I'm like, I really want this to hit. I ordered the book, and I'm like, you can't have spelling errors in your book. You can't have grammar errors in your book. Like,
So disappointing.
before we even get to the message, before we even get to the point, the meaning, the essence, or the validity of the book itself, it's like if you read the book and you consistently find grammar issues and you consistently find misspelling stuff, it's like
Yeah.
you can't do that, you know. And then I see like someone I'm following will be like, I'm writing a book. I'm like, don't just
Don't do it.
don't do it. Guys, I've decided to write a book. Why? It's like, what do you?
Bro, me and my friend, we always talk about this stuff. Because, bro, Somalis celebrate the bare minimum. Like, a guy will, like, do something and they'll celebrate it, right? He'll
Mhm.
host the event. They'll celebrate that event. He'll do a short film, but the short film is about, like a small town, like the thinking is so usually small, and people congratulate you for that, bro. Somebody
Yeah,
will open a business and they'll congratulate them for opening that business, but next thing you know, that business really hasn't done much. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Or they'll do like this clothing line, and the clothing line has the Somali flag on it. Like, bro, are you serious? You
yeah,
know, is that really something to congratulate? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's actually not. And it's like I feel like Somalis would do great things if they just didn't recognize the bare minimum.
yeah, yeah. Like you get, it's like eighth place trophies. You know, like you get rewarded and recognized just for doing. I think now we've had enough people try shit and do shit that we can kind of
Yeah,
start saying, okay, now we need to like look at quality.
bro,
Like,
that's literally where I'm at because these days somebody will send me their shit to help. Like they'll be like, "Can you repost this for me?" I'm just like, "No, bro, I don't want any association with this, bro. You're not like, come on, man. You're not really doing anything, bro."
yeah, which is, but that needs, like, those conversations need to be had though, like for real. Like
Bro, well,
it's so silly too when you see someone, like I see guys who are trying to do clothing lines and things like that. And it's like, okay, you're now in this ecosystem. You're in America, right?
yeah,
Where you two things have to happen. One, you have to think bigger than just Somali people, and because
yeah,
it's such a
exactly,
small market, like you're looking at a very,
bro.
very niche thing, and there's not that many people. You can't center a whole business around a small group in a small area that is just Minnesota, one, or even just the U.S. But
Yeah,
also, you can't just go get a T-shirt and just slap a logo on it. Like, it's
look,
got to be
bro.
more than that. What the hell?
Like it needs to speak some volume, bro. Especially, bro. Like I know some people who do have clothing lines, and they'll make a post on Instagram like, you know, you really find out who's close to you when you start something new or a business or some shit. I'm like, bro, how many times is your homie gonna buy from you? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, there's always that idea of support. You know, support this person. You want me to support your business? What is this, a non like profit?
this
Like,
is a fucking nonprofit, bro. Where's the business strategy, bro?
right?
Where
Yeah, you want to
like
sell to people. You don't want them supporting you. What do you mean? You want me supporting you? Next thing you know, it's like we only need 6 more thousand to survive this month. Support them. What the fuck, man? It's like the guys that come to the masjid to do the fundraiser thing. Yeah, we only need 10 guys donating at 100. We only need 10
yeah,
people to purchase a $6 item. Come on, man.
bro.
Yes.
Especially from like me, I'm a marketer. So when I see people like post shit like that, I'm like, bro, why don't you just run some ads? Like why don't you invest in yourself and do something? You know what I mean? Like you need to figure out how to put your product out there. Bro, in a
Yeah.
world where, advertising runs social media, I can't believe how many people actually don't use it to grow their business, especially
Yeah.
Somalis. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I
Yeah.
know a lot of Somali so-called brand owners, right? We could say there's a lot of brand owners, but bro, they don't make more than $1,000 a month.
Yeah. You know what? You know what I've always thought about? You know those like Carmel Mall, 24 Mall. You know those malls where it's just like Somali people sell their shit. bro.
Yeah.
Every time I've walked by one of those stores, I'm like, there's no way these little cubicles are making money. There's no
Bro,
way.
they're not.
Because
Bro, we both
like,
know they're not.
yeah, there's
They're
just
breaking. They're,
store clothes and all types of shit stacked together in the back of the corner, like an old lady trying to like occasionally pull one out from like the back and pull like it's not a business. And dude, I totally understand those people. You know what I mean?
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Those moms and those aunties, I get them, bro.
Yeah.
But if you're fucking born in our generation,
Yeah. And you've been
and you're
here
doing
for 10 years and you've gone
and
through high
you
school and college.
and you're doing goofy shit like that, telling your friends to follow your Instagram account for your new business, like, yeah, man, good luck, man. That's where really the small-minded people are at, bro. And it's very disappointing, bro, because I see so many white people, right? Adult people, for example, like, bro, their businesses make hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month,
Yeah.
you know? But so many people, from Somalis to even African Americans, it's always this demographic of our people who are not doing bigger things, right? They think the only way to make money is through, DHS, which is like, no, you can actually build like something solid and tangible. You just need to learn how to sell your product, you know? So, man,
Or make a good product. Like if you make
that's
a
the
good
first thing.
if you make a good product, you won't need even ads as much, you know?
No,
Like if you
no,
actually
you,
have a genuinely good product, the number one thing I'd say is if you're a Somali dude and you're trying to create a business and you're trying to create a product and you're trying to actually make money, don't create products for Somali people. Like,
yeah,
of course, Somali people can use it, but the whole point of a business is you need to have as many people purchasing your product as possible. So you would make all the sense in the world to try to cater your to the whole market or to at least as large of the market as you possibly can. Right?
yeah,
There's like less than 100,000 Somali people in the country. Half of them are twice as old as you if you're in your 20s. So they're never going to purchase your products. Half of them, some of them still use flip phones. Like there's a whole older generation. Like the millennials in and of themselves are small demographic of that small demographic. So trying to create a product for 10,000 people or less and only getting 2% of that, it's just you're shooting yourself at the foot before you even start. So
I seen the page Molly World.
no,
That will
is it an
that
Instagram
there's
page?
Yeah, it's an Instagram page called Molly World Entertainment. They post like Somali entertainment, and then you can pay them for like a promo, right? Um, so you
Mm.
have like a business or whatever, you can pay them for a promo. There was somebody who promoted their business, and I never fucking died like that in my entire life. This guy was selling mugs with the Maoist design.
Respect mugs though. Okay, yeah.
Bro, he said, drink your shot in style.
I gotta give it to him though. He tried. Drink your
Bro,
shine style. Let's go. Yeah,
bro,
so it's like yeah, yeah. Those pages are interesting, wallah.
it's the funniest shit, bro, that I ever saw, bro. For like that. And it's like, man, it's like the creativity is just it's
It's, but
that's why
that's
that's
like yeah.
yeah, that's why I've always thought bigger than Somali community alone. You know what I mean? Like Somali community is not my main customer. Like I
Mhm.
never. That's why I don't have like a Somali business. Because bro, even in my marketing agency, it's so hard to work with Somali people.
Right.
It's incredibly difficult, bro.
You
Either they're
you'd have
not,
to explain so much to them and convince so much.
bro. Forget the convincing and education part, bro. It's hard to get them on time. It's hard for them to keep their word. Like it's incredibly hard for them to even invest into themselves. It's so difficult, bro. We're not even talking about business development. Just the bare minimum is really difficult for a lot of smaller people. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Is it like a cultural thing? Is it like I don't know what it is, bro.
The time thing is a joke. In 2023, the way we still do the time thing, like you schedule a meeting with somebody and 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes later they show up. that's still a joke to me. I'm
Bro,
actually, yeah.
that's actually disrespectful, bro. There was a so one of my clients the other day referred me to uh, another guy who wanted my services, and I sent him my onboarding form. I said, "Hey, in order to see if you qualify, if you could fill this out for me." He said, "I'll fill it out by the end of the day." That was last Monday, and then I followed up with him Wednesday. I said, "Hey, man, what's going on, man? I haven't heard from you." And then he's like, "Yeah, just give me by the end of Friday. I'll send it. I'll send it to you, bro." It's Monday today, and I still didn't hear from him. I texted him this morning. Hey, brother, I'm gonna have to let you go, man. Feel free to send me a message again when you're actually serious. Because
Mhm.
why would you come looking for my services, but you can't even fill out a form? Like,
Dude, it's I couldn't tell you how many meetings I've had like that. I had a one ticked me off about a month ago, I want to say. And this was like, okay, we're not doing that again. I had a 40-minute conversation with this lad. Cool guy, nice
yeah,
guy, trying to do
yeah,
something honorable, I think. 40-minute conversation with him,
I
walk
think,
through walk through a bunch of shit. And he's like, all right, bro, I'm gonna hit you. I'm like, okay, why don't you go talk to your co-owners and let's hop on a call next week and
yeah,
and actually have a full meeting. And I'm like, I text him, I'm like, this is my email, send me an invitation, whatever time works for you guys, I'll make it work. And I wait, I wait, I wait. We had a good conversation, bro. 40-minute long conversation where we talked about a bunch of shit.
yeah.
It's now been about 40 days. Like, nothing. Not, hey, can't do it. Hey, it's not gonna happen. Hey, these are the times that will work. Nothing. Just as
It's
if
like it's like that awkward part where it's like you never had the conversation. Bro, this guy too. This guy, I had a really great conversation with him, and he actually like was creating a great product, and I thought there was massive potential for it, but it's like he didn't even believe in himself enough or some shit. Like I don't know what it is.
I
Like
think
it's
I think it's a comfort thing, because like if you really want to do anything, there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of like, you need to
some
ask for
money.
help, money, time, a lot of things that goes in. I think people just don't want to actually actualize it because if you actualize it and you put things into motion, then you actually have to do shit. You actually have to follow through. You actually have to try. Now you're adding partners into the mix, people that hold you accountable. I just think people don't want to actually get behind the knit and grit of it all. You know what I mean?
Bro, it's actually really fucking sad actually because like people have the opportunity and the chance to do something great, make a shit ton of money, but you, they can't even get started, bro. They can't even like do the things that they're
Yeah.
supposed to do just to like even just get your foot in the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like especially within our community, bro. That's why like I see most of them are not truly successful, right? Um, and then you see people just doing the business that their friend told them to do, right? It's like, if you don't choose your own path, your path will be chosen for you. Like in a in
Mm-hmm.
a in a time of, you know, so much opportunity, you want to do everything that everybody else is doing. Like it doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
you know?
Or doing shit that's been played out and people like the mugs thing. That would have been okay in 2015, 2014, some shit like that when
Yeah,
the whole drop ship scene
yeah,
coming into the mix. Cool.
yeah.
Do some print on demand mugs selling and things like that. But it's been like 8 years now since that came into the mix, and time is a moving right now. Like, ain't nobody buying mugs online.
Bro, it's a fucking mug. You can't even think about the margins of that, bro. Like
Yeah,
you would go into debt, bro. What do you mean?
you'd have to sell so many fucking mugs, and then you're
And
selling
that,
mugs with a Mawis on it, which is like you've completely exhausted the market if you sell a couple hundred. Like you're out of business after that. Like you know what I mean?
bro, well, it's quite sad, bro. Like that's why I don't really like force shit within at least my this community in terms of making money. You know what I mean? It's like here's the price, whatever, right? There you go. Um, and even bro, people who want to be entrepreneurs, like for example, we sell courses, teaching people e-commerce, all that kind of stuff, and we've done over 1,000 calls with people, bro. 1,000 calls, and mainly we did these calls, bro, because number one, we didn't want to sell a cheap product, and number two, we also, you know, just we wanted to see where people's mindset is so we can better understand these people, bro. And a good percentage of those people, bro, they're very, very small minded, or they're looking for like something free, or you know, they're just not ready to take that next step of faith, of investing in themselves. Even though they'll see you make $100,000 or whatever, they're just not ready, bro. And it's crazy to me because like so many Somalis are like this, bro. They just want to do like the bare minimum, you know. People will be like, okay, how do I start a business? I'm like, you just start, you know, like you just start, man. And I
Mm.
don't know if it's like the lack of education, but at least within this community, bro, I will say the most successful people I've seen, they're either in logistics and transportation, they're either in healthcare, right? Or they have like a corporate job that they're addicted to and obsessed with, you know.
Mm.
Um, Besides that, I've yet to see really anybody else. Like,
Bro,
I don't know what other things people
transportation,
excel in.
transportation, and well, logistics overall is fucking mad. We just opened up a trucking business.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, I know, like, so I know a lot of guys, Somali guys, so Somali people, Somali dudes, especially. They once the whole trucking thing started, I think what 6 years ago, something like that. They just ran to it, and I think half of our population, male population, became truck drivers. And for a long time, I couldn't understand why they couldn't succeed. Because this guy is making, they're truck drivers. They're making 100K a year, 80K a year, 70K a year, and a lot of them are broke. And then I'd see guys who'd purchase trucks, like they would actually, and then become owner operators. And they're the ones I saw fail like consistently. I'd see truck drivers, the guys that are driving, they're making money, they're doing okay. But the second they transition from truck driver to owner operator, which is like just a step below business owner, the second they get to that level, that's when they start to lose money. That's when they start to, like, at the end of the year, have nothing. And I realized, like, a lot of Somali guys are good with, like, they're actually meant to, even though entrepreneurship and businesses and things like that kind of run in our culture, but I think a lot of it was older generations and out of necessity. And a lot of guys, when they're working, when they're earning money, either at a corporate job or a truck driver as an employee, or working at a store or something like that, they do fine. They make money, they spend a little bit of it, they still have some of it in their account, they do okay. But the second they transition to truck driver slash truck owner, where it's an owner operator thing, where now you have overhead and you have your, like, a different accounting system, and you're like almost you're an independent contractor. You kind of treat it like you have a business in a way. That's when things start to go sideways. Every guy who's become, that I know personally, and I know like 8, 9, 10 of them, every guy that's bought a truck and become an independent contractor slash um, owner operator, shit goes south.
yeah,
It's like there isn't that underlying, like, okay, we need to manage things, we need to think about spending differently, we need to think about insurance. Everything is thought about differently when you're now an owner. And
yeah,
you deal with insurance companies differently. Like, when you work for a company, the company takes care of everything. They take care of the
yeah,
insurance stuff. They take care of the government contracts and all the requirements. They take care of all legal stuff. All you have to do is go pick up what they tell you to pick up and drop it off where they tell you to drop it off, and, like, make sure that things are not problematic in that process. But when you're now an owner operator, you now have to think about your own insurance, and you have to think about your own legal and your own documentation. You open up your own business bank account, and you have to start thinking about these other things. I just think it's the logistical management aspect of it, where the thinking, once it comes into play, guys just fucking fumble the ball hard.
I think, bro, I've like studied a few different businesses as well. I also tried trucking um, with my uncle, but here's the lack of education. Like the lack, people are lacking, bro, because okay, say you own a fucking truck, right? I'm gonna call you and tell you, okay, what do you think I should do? Where do I start? Which insurance is the best? Bro, whole time I don't even have a business plan. You know, I don't know
Mm.
what's going on. I don't know, which carriers I'm working with. I don't know what I'm doing, and it's like I think that's how Somalis roll, bro. Like
Yeah.
I've seen it. Even I know a few people in the healthcare industry. The way they get their knowledge is not from the DHS website. They get their knowledge from,
From
from the
talking.
other guy,
Yeah,
you
from
know,
talking.
from
I heard
talking,
I
bro.
heard is the like a big thing, yeah.
Bro, like how, bro? How do you just just you have to actually have business like strategy. You know what I mean? You can't
Yeah.
just start a business and if you're kind of all over the place, bro, it will take you 10 times as long as it would if you had just sit down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
For me, right, I think I had found success in what I was doing, a lot quicker than many people would because I actually just sat down and tried to structure my life, right? From structuring my life to, well, I can't say structuring my life because sometimes my life is all over the place, right? Um, but at least from a business perspective, I know exactly the things that I need to do in order to do that. And the only way that I had gotten to that point was investing in myself, investing in my education and my knowledge. Like I'm always learning shit, bro. Like all
Yeah.
the time, bro. Half of my time is spent learning rather than, even doing anything because there's always something else to learn, ways to leverage more money. How can I squeeze this customer, more? How can I, make these ads convert more? It's always a new strategy that needs to be implemented. Because even in your industry, right? Something that worked 10 years ago may not be working anymore, right?
Dude, something
Think
that worked 2 years ago doesn't work anymore.
think about that, bro.
Yeah.
Things change so much, and it's like if you're not able to adapt, how are you gonna become more successful, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of these guys, they're just, bro, they're not willing to invest into themselves and like actually get coached to be better.
Yeah. Or just learn, like actually go scour and try to find information. You know, I remember this. I'll be honest, it is the easiest trap to fall in is this naive competence, you know? Like you assume, like you overestimate you and dramatically underestimate what's required to get something done, you know? Just because you came up with the idea or you said you wanted to do it, you think you can do it just because you like to think of yourself as like this special thing or whatever. And one thing I really love about Alex Hormozy is he made in every podcast he's been on, he makes it very clear it's unreasonable for you to think you'd be good at something if you've never done it before. That's just unreasonable. It's basic as fuck. It's just unreasonable. Why would you think you would be good at it or you could do it if you've never done it before? You know? And one thing I like about you is one, you give me mad, Iman Ghazi?
Yeah,
You give me mad Iman Ghazi vibes. One thing I really like about that guy is
yeah.
he caught on to the idea of um, courses and self-taught information very early, and you caught on to that long before I did, way before, like I think years before I got around to it. And it is hard for people to purchase a course or enroll in a online masterclass or whatever, but it's like the thing you have to do today. Like if you actually want to
Oh,
get on something, you actually have to do that today.
I go on TikTok live. I've been doing it every day this week, right? And usually on my live, I'm broadcasting to about 100 to 400 people at any given moment. And it's the craziest shit, actually. I just realized how effective TikTok Live really is. Um, but I'm just on there kind of doing like my own spiel, kind of talking about different things. And you got these people just like, man, something just smells like scam here. Something just spits. Like I'm like, bro, how are you? I'm telling you about what I do. You're asking if I have knowledge, and there's people who actually are seeking good knowledge. And then you got those few people who are just like, yeah, something smells like Forex scam. I'm like, who the fuck is doing Forex here? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, what are you talking about? And it's like people will always say that type of shit, bro, and they'll always be there, bro. But for me, bro, knowledge is everything. If Hormozy, extremely knowledgeable, right? I've read his book,
Yeah.
and his other one is on the way.
Yeah.
So it's like we're always seeking knowledge in ways that will help us to elevate, right? For example, over the last year, some of the things that I do, like how I do marketing in my business, kind of changed, right? In my online business, my e-commerce business. Why? because I had gotten knowledge from this guy that I never paid from YouTube, right? He only had when I saw him, he had 1,000 subscribers. You know, today he has like 10,000 subscribers. But because I was in the loop of just looking for information and finding knowledge, I literally found this guy, and because of that strategy, it's made me so much more money in the last year. You know, and today,
Yeah.
like I would pay him any fucking day if he offered me something. You know,
Yeah.
and this is the kind of things that Hormozy talks about. You know, and even bro, when I was like, two years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, when I started really doing a paradigm shift in my life and my business, like it came from finally taking the steps to not buy $1,000 course, pay for a 3 hour $5,000 call, you know,
Yeah.
do these things that just seem ridiculous to other people and see where it takes me. That call opened my network to like 5 other people that I started doing more business with, and then also gave me, more insights on, how to better grow my business and how to better structure. If I had never taken that call, it was just 3 hours for $5,000. I probably would not be where I'm at today.
Mm.
Because I made a decision a long time ago not to go to school. I can't go back to school and tell myself, oh, I'm gonna go learn marketing from this professor who's never run a marketing campaign. It literally makes no fucking sense.
All right.
But you see somebody like Hormozy who just had almost 300,000 people on a live event that he just
Yeah,
did.
that thing was crazy.
Like how, bro? I would pay Hormozy any day, because he's done everything that he's teaching. He's not teaching from like theory.
Right.
Um, it's not new. He's done it, and I think those are the best type of people to learn from, bro. Honestly, I wish there were more people like us who were like selling courses. I have a client. She's also in logistics space. She's a broker, right? And she's very like smart, very very smart in that industry. She's creating a course because she sees that gap of knowledge that people really have.
That's good.
Um,
Yeah.
and that course, she'll help a lot of women get started, but she'll also help a lot of people, structure their business better and learn from all the mistakes that she made.
Yeah.
It's not always just school that you can learn from.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. It's hard for people. Like, it's interesting what you said about the call, because I was thinking about that. What I was thinking about as soon as you were saying that was, it's interesting how, based on where you're at, one, the price increases of what you're trying to purchase. Because I was comparing it to, I bought a course a couple of months ago, and I paid $2,000 for this course. I was comparing it to the first course that I bought. I think my first course, I don't know, 2 years ago, something like that. It was during that COVID period, and I paid $400 for it. There's a, it might not seem like it, but there's a big difference between $2,000 and $400. You know, and the course for the $400 was on writing, and it was kind of specific but so simple. And the price is lower because the potential for what you'll get out of it is also is very independent, personal dependent. So it's depending on who you are, what you're willing to do with it, and whatnot. It was just a course on just writing in general and on
Yeah,
copywriting as well. But the course I bought 2000 was about how to run a holding company, right? Which is
yeah,
a little bit more complex. It's a little bit more. There's a lot more information, but also the person who is running that course is somebody who's run a holding company, right? That person knows that the building a holding company, what you'll get from it, the financial gains are probably going to be much higher than what you'll get financially from learning to write, right? Now, writing is a little bit different because it translates into everything, like every email you send, every blog post I make, every copy that I send to someone, like everything, right? So it's a little bit more fundamental and requirement, but the ROI on it from a financial can't really be like, if you implement these, you have a chance of making millions, right? But that lady who's selling her course on holding companies can easily say, listen, I've done this for years, and I've I know what you can get from it. If you spend the time and you actually put in the hours, I know you'll make more than $2,000. So just get it together and purchase this bitch. And so it's true. Like, you paying $5,000 for a call, you can actually, the person who's you're talking to is someone who's done what you're doing and knows for sure you'll make more than $5,000 based on the information they're going to give you if you implement it. And then like it's interesting because the the space to insert shit gets thinner and thinner and thinner. So the person that's giving you a $400 item, you've got a shit ton of space. So there's so much blocks to build in that space. But the person that's charging you $5,000 is giving you a tiny little incremental thing that you have to insert. It's like a missing piece in everything. Like you have your blocks built, you have all of these things in place, but without this one little tiny thing that to insert that makes everything else run 10 times smoother, what is that worth? Is it worth 5,000 to make everything else run 10 times smoother, 50 times smoother, 100 times smoother? But for most people who hear you say, okay, I spent $5,000 on an item, they're not there yet. They're not at that. They need to spend $5,000 on a call or $2,000 on a course or whatever. It's a couple $100 investment where you're at. For most people, they're at, I just need to figure out where the fuck to start, what the hell to do. Like an e-commerce course shouldn't really cost more than it depending on the person that's selling it, depending on the sort of structure of the course, it really shouldn't cost more than 1,000, 1,500, give or take. And maybe like a good course on how to run multiple businesses, or how to sell a course or something like that, where you're not selling a $100 item or you're not selling a $50 item. I can see that being priced at a higher price. But for most people, they're like, how do I sell one single product? How do I find a single product to sell? And that's a couple $100 price tag on that course. Most courses that are just telling you how to do one thing, most courses that are just like, if you're a photographer and you want to figure out how to make that into a business, the purchase price for that course isn't 5,000. It isn't 3,000. It's going to be a couple $100 for the most part. And I think people just need to get over that first. Like, I remember I bought a. Do you know what's his name? The real estate guy.
Grant Cardone.
Grant Cardone. I remember like 4 years ago, I was so broke. when I tell you I was broke 4 years, because I was running a transportation business, and this business was in like it was like it hit hard. 2019 COVID hit, everything shut down, and transportation businesses have high overhead costs, you know?
Yeah.
Like we were just spending thousands of dollars in just insurance, and everything shut down. And this was a medical transportation, and I remember I was so broke. Like I remember, I don't think I'll ever forget this because it was such a real moment. I had $200 in my bank account, $200 in my personal checking account. And Grant Cardone's course cost $97.
Yeah.
And I pulled the trigger on that bitch. $97 I spent on that course. And I remember the next day, something happened and I had to pay like $60 or something. And I had $40 left in my account. And one thing you learn when you're in college is you think about money in terms of like how much food I can afford. And for me, it was how many burritos, like how many
Chipotle.
Yeah. So I was like, I got $40. That's like three and a half burritos. I'm good for the next 3 days or so, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember going through that course. I finished it in like 3 days, and I was like, fuck. Can I get my money back? Like, if I hit them up on email, will they give me a refund? Because I was mad, because I was like, fuck, the whole course, and I don't know, I didn't get shit out of it. I didn't, like, you know what I mean? It was just like it was general. It was a lot of generalities. It just wasn't a good course for me specifically at that time, and I was mad. You know, I was mad. I was like, fuck, $97. Now I'm down to my last 40, and I don't know, man. I was pretty upset. But one, I'm very, very happy that I didn't go down the road of I'm never purchasing a course again. You know?
Yeah.
Because like, what the is that gonna get you? I just realized that I just need to like.
Plus, bro, it was $97. You know what I mean? Like now that you probably think about it, you're like, yeah, I mean, what the fuck is that? You know, most dinners cost $97 if you were to eat at a steakhouse or some shit. You know, it's like
I've spent a lot more money on Less valuable shit, that's for sure.
You know, so
Yeah.
bro, thinking about this right now, like it's like the more you learn to spend, bro, the more comfortable you even become like charging
Yeah.
that
Like
amount, right?
you need to make those mistakes though, right? Like you need to
Yeah,
fuck up a little bit. You're not gonna hit a home run on your first attempt at anything. Like
you're
you
not,
just
bro.
need
And
to.
that's where people like people people they do that, bro. They think like, oh, I just bought this course. This is the answer to my life. Bro, do you know
Right.
how many fucking e-commerce course I have, bro? The first course I ever bought, bro, I I literally it was a 3 month split, right? The first month it was the first payment was $397. The second payment was like another $397. But that second payment I couldn't afford it. You know what I mean? So that 30 days I watched a bit of that first one, and then the second one I forgot that second payment was coming, so I lost access to the course, and I was fucking pissed, bro. Because if you don't complete your payments, you lose
Yeah.
access to that course. So I tried to like get my money back. I'm like, fuck you guys, you guys just messed me up. So I called my bank. Nope, I couldn't get it back, bro. I
You tried to do that. This is a fraud thing.
I couldn't get that money back, bro. So I was pissed. Number one, right? Number two, they wouldn't help. Like I was willing to pay them right for the rest of their course, but they weren't willing to work with me around it. That was kind of an asshole move. Like
Yeah.
you usually, if you're great business, you're trying to keep your customer in any way possible, right? But they just threw me off the program, and probably because they had like chargeback protection or something, and they just
Mm.
didn't give a fuck, right? But that's where because of that day, I never saw value in that person again. And that's honestly that's what they look like now. But from there, I took my first L, my first L in like starting e-commerce, because now
Mm.
I paid for this course and I couldn't even get access to it to finish it. So I'm just like, fuck, man, I just got like scammed or something,
Yeah.
because I genuinely could not afford it, right? I even put it on my credit card. So I owed $400 in
Still
debt.
owed it. Yeah.
He still owed it, right? Um, but then I was like, you know what, forget it. Then I went to YouTube and just started learning different things, and I kept continuing to learn. And then I found somebody who was very, very knowledgeable. But the reason he was giving the game for free, bro. The things that I was looking for, he was giving it away for free.
Mm.
And this is what Hormozy talks about, like give so much to your audience that they feel like they're indebted to you. And this guy would just do that, bro. And then after a few months of watching him, he finally came out with a course. And that course was like $297, and I paid it in full. And because of that course, bro, I literally made my first six figures
Oof.
after taking that first L on that first course. And then, I was still willing to learn and invest in myself. I was just missing a few things. And from there on, bro, I actually learned to love buying courses, but it got to a point where, you know, I became more confident in who to buy the course from,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because
You figure out that filtering process.
exactly, bro, that's kind of where you learn the best.
Yeah.
And because of that, now I know who's legit. I know who's not. I know the questions to ask. Um, if I'm trying to learn how to do $1 million a month, you know, I want that person to show me that they made $1 million a month. And I'm not talking about screenshots. Like pull up the numbers. Show me.
Yeah.
Show me the proof, man. Show me inside your account. That's how you kind of filter shit out, bro. But it's like these days, bro. You could show niggas your account. You could show them whatever, and they're like, nope, it's a scam.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, at that point, I don't care, bro.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
We live in interesting times where it's like it's actually cool. Like there's actually people that find pleasure in hate. Like
It's crazy, bro.
it's
Yeah,
such an interesting thing. Like you could actually show someone something dope. That I love the contrast between ancient Muslim folks and modern folks. There's an Islamic philosopher. He said a lot of people are like ants, not ants,
yeah,
flies.
yeah,
They'll literally hover around and skip over all the highly nutritional, well-made food, so that they can land on the rotten, the one corner, the little piece of banana that's been sitting in the edge of the apartment for a little while. They just land on the rotten. They'll skip over every good thing they've seen They'll skip over all the beautiful, all the like well structured, all the nice, all the accomplishments, all the goals, and that one little thing in the corner that they see that's a little doesn't seem too right. They'll land on that. It's just what a mindset to have, where you could be shown an image with like a lot of beautiful stuff, and you find
Yeah,
the one tiny detail that doesn't sit right. It's like
bro, it's like so fucked up because why are you paying attention to that? You know, the negative so much. It goes to show you, you know,
that's the way your mind is set up. It's set up that you like you literally are willing to overlook 80% of awesomeness and dopeness so that you can land on 2% of that could have been better. Something doesn't seem right there. It's like it's not even obvious. It isn't obvious that there's something wrong. You can't actually say, I saw it with my eyes, that shit was fucked up, blah, blah, blah. You say, I feel like, or I think. It's like, what?
bro. I posted a photo on Instagram a few days ago, and some guy commented, uh, "Bro, I think you need to go to Turkey, you know, for your hairline." Um,
you? You need to go
bro,
to.
well, that's what he told me. I need to go to Turkey for my hairline, right? So I go on this guy's page, bro. Bro, the guy is fucking bald, bro. Like, like he's bald, bro. I'm like, bro, me or you, bro?
Dude, the way a lot of guys think nowadays, it's the funniest shit on the planet. It's so. I had a friend. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he was telling me a conversation he had with one of his friends. So
Yeah,
check this out. This shit made me laugh. So this guy
yeah,
goes on a date with this girl, right? So he goes on a date with this girl. I guess she's like one of these, baddies or whatever, the type. And so they go into this fancy joint or whatever. He's broke. Keep this in mind. He's a broke dude.
yeah,
And he's a broke dude. He's a college dropout and he still lives with his mom. He's a grown adult.
yeah.
And he's fat and he's bald.
Oh man.
So it's shit's stacking up a little bit. but but
Hey,
somehow he manages to get a date with this girl. He met her on Instagram. They go out and shit doesn't go sweet, shit doesn't go well. And at the end of the
yeah,
day, he's like, what's the deal? What's going on? And she's like, I'm not feeling you. She's like,
yeah.
he's like, why? It's like, well, you're fat, you live with your mom, and you haven't finished school and you're unemployed. And on top of that, you're bald, bro. Which is kind of okay. It's kind of harsh. It's kind of straight, whatever. But nonetheless, that's what she said to him, right?
Yeah,
Homie goes back to his friend, tells him the story. But keep in mind, this girl said, you're fat, you're unemployed, you live with your mom, and you're bald. Right.
yeah.
Those are some big hitters. This boy
Bro,
goes,
that's deep. Yeah.
that's deep as fuck. This boy goes back to his boy and says, fuck that bitch. I'm gonna go to Turkey and get a new hairline. I'm like, what? You're broke, you're fat, and you have a shit hairline. Of the three, you you're broke and you're fat. Let's solve those first. Like, what do you mean you're gonna go get a new hairline? You're gonna go spend what little money you don't have on
You
your
don't
hair
have,
so that
but
you
you're still fat and broke.
like the mindset is insane. What do you mean you're gonna go to Turkey and fix your hairline? Go to the
Bro,
gym first. Go get a job first.
yeah, bro. Well, having a bad hairline is not bad. It's like it's very common, bro. It's most men are bald. You know what I mean?
I've been bald since I was in high school.
Bro, exactly. It's either genetics, it's either, you know, stress or something. You know what I mean? Whatever. But to be fat and to be broke is optional.
That is
It's
very
control.
optional. Yeah.
That is just optional, bro. If you chose to be broke, fat, and living with your mom still at 30, you know, you really need to reevaluate your own life, right? Because you made these choices, bro. You chose to be in this position at this age because you thought it was cool to just play PS5 and, you know, watch soccer and just keep eating. Um, people, especially people. You know what's crazy, bro? I started going to the gym like this last year, seriously. Like I had gained over 35 pounds, of just pure muscle and weight
Ooh.
because most of my life, bro, I was just this scrawny kid, no type of like I'm
I
still I'm
remember.
still yeah, you remember, bro. I was really
Mm.
small kid. Um, but when I started going to the gym consistently, bro, and my friend pushed me, bro, I realized people who don't actually go to the gym, they're actually missing, especially men, bro. They're missing out on more than they could ever imagine, bro. Because for the first time in my life, bro, I felt like, I was actually achieving something worthwhile. Like
Mm.
my health and my body, every part, my confidence, bro. When I started going to the gym, bro, I started making more money. Like I started feeling better about myself. Like I've never been in a position where, you know, today if I don't go to the gym, it feels weird, bro.
Yeah.
I feel really uncomfortable and not at peace, bro. And suddenly, everything starts going downhill. And it's like if as a man you're not going to the gym on a regular basis or getting some sort of exercise, I already know you're behind. You know, like to me, it feels like you're already behind, bro. Like seriously, because you're missing the part of you as a man is supposed to be there. We're supposed to be like hunting and shit. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
Like being barbaric and shit.
Dude,
But
it's funny how often, like, it's one of the first things I clock personally.
yeah,
I don't know what it is. I don't know if every guy does this. I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, and he like, I was telling him that. He's like, yeah, dude, I can't trust a fat person. I'm like, okay, that's extreme. I'm like, that's extreme. But like, as a man, when you sit across another man, dude, you know what
yeah,
drives me nuts?
yeah,
Dude, this drives me nuts, bro. In 2023, I've gone to God knows how many cities and how many countries and how many states and how many different masjids. And it is mind blowing to me the amount of men that stand to give the Friday lecture that are out of shape like crazy obese. Like, it's
yeah,
crazy to me.
bro.
99% success rate.
Here, bro, I'm the same, right? When I go to when I see Somali men, me and my friend will just be going for a walk at the lake or something, right? In Minnesota, we just see the Somali men with their bellies out, walking like this, and bald, and just these guys look miserable, bro. Because
Mm,
the way they walk, bro, they walk like insane, bro. I'm just like, why would you get to this low levels where this is like so hard for you to like overcome? Because bro, let's be honest, going to the gym is really in the first stages of going to the gym, bro. It's difficult,
yeah.
because now you have to push yourself, bro. You have to show up every single fucking day. You have to like overcome this self-talk in your mind, right, bro? For example, I would be I would be benching, a plate. I could not bench a plate before. Like seriously,
Mm,
I would be benching 25, and it's just I think it's so hard. It's so hard. I'm like, my friend is like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You do this shit, bro. you
yeah.
know. And then I'm like, bro, why am I? He's like, bro, it's in your head. Get over yourself. Stop being a pussy. And then suddenly, bro, I just lift that shit. You know what I'm saying? And now suddenly I'm doing a plate, and I'm just pushing, and I'm just pushing, and I'm just pushing. And then even until now, after a year of going to the gym, I caught myself lacking and not being able to like do a plate 25, a plate 30, right? And my friend is like, bro, you were doing this a few months ago. Why the fuck are you not doing it? You know? And then I remember myself again, it's just in my head. It's just in my head. And like the gym really helps you to overcome what the fuck is in your head. Because most of the time, bro, you're just lying to yourself. You're choosing this comfort and this like the scarce part of your mind rather than just doing it, you know? So wallahi for me, bro, I started to see progress even in the quality of women that I attract when I like started to like push myself.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
You know what fucks a lot of people up? Me and my friend were talking about this a couple days ago. When we were in Miami, we had a conversation and we were like, all right, we're in our 20s. We're about to hit, in a few years, we'll get over 30. Let's get into the best shape of our lives now.
Yeah.
So that later on we're just on maintenance. And we were talking about how to go about that. And he came up with this complicated, intense routine with nutrition, all this shit. I'm like, I'm not doing that, first of all. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder or a CrossFit athlete or some shit. I'm just trying to feel good and look great.
Yeah.
Simple. And one thing that made me realize that whole conversation was we fucking dramatically overestimate how much shit we need to do at the gym. Like,
Facts.
when people think about working out, they think they need to go hit the gym and spend 2 hours there, like pumping iron the whole time and like coming out dead. Cause that's what a lot of people talk about on social media is like killing yourself. The shit that kills me is when I see a grown ass dude talking about fighting his demons at the gym or fighting his depression or something at the gym. I'm like, what are you doing? What is happening in there, man? What, like, the whole point of going to the gym is to look good and to feel good. That's it.
That's
There's
it,
no other
bro.
reason. And the amount of work that you need to do to get to that level is not a lot. You don't actually need to go in there and kill yourself. You don't need to be there lifting 45s and bench pressing and deadlifting heavy. Like, you don't need to be doing that. You just need to be doing a little bit every day, and that shit'll go a long fucking way when you do it consistently. I think one of the things that fucks people up a lot is they go in there and try to do hard shit.
And
It's
then
like,
they can't do it, a few days later again.
yeah, they can't
You
keep.
know,
They're sore as hell tomorrow.
bro, it's about the fucking consistency in anything you do. The way
Yeah,
you do one thing is the way you do everything, bro. Like, if well, any man who wants to become successful, bro, the first thing I always tell them is just try to show up for the gym every day. Try to, like, every day, just try to get some exercise. Even if it's not every day, maybe 4 or 5 times a week, right?
mm,
Consistently though, like every Monday, Thursday, Friday, you're like there, and then do the same in other parts of your life. Show up for your business. Show up for your family. Show up for yourself. You know, that's the most important part, bro. Like, showing up for yourself and keeping your word to yourself, man. Bro, I realize how many people don't fucking keep their word. For example, somebody like I know somebody, right? They'll tell me, like, this guy always needs me, right, for something, right? But he's so fucking fluky, bro. He's the most flukiest person you'll ever meet. And I haven't talked to him in over a year. And one day he just randomly hit me up. He's like, bro, this is somebody I respected at one point, but I no longer have respect for him because of that reason, right? He messaged me after over a year of not communicating. He said, I'll call you. I said, yeah, bro, no problem. Just give me a call. He said, all right, I'll call you in about an hour. It's been over 3 months, bro. I've never heard from that guy. Like, seriously. And it's like, bro, I literally lost all types of respect for you. My respect for you literally went from here to literally fucking below my fucking feet, bro. Because
mm.
if you couldn't do a simple thing like call me, when you say you call me, like, bro, you're done for, bro. I can't respect, especially if you promote yourself to be a prominent businessman, accountable, this, that, grown ass man, bro, can't even keep his word. And then I noticed, this guy is not only like this to me, he's also like this to other people, because people would complain about it. And then at that moment I said, wow, I just learned a very valuable lesson. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything, bro. He was not only behaving in this matter with me, bro, he was behaving in this matter with everybody. And it literally made him look like a fool.
People don't know how much people talk.
Bro, people talk. They notice the good things and the bad things you do to them.
Yeah. People don't know. Like, bro, people talk shit about other people, but they don't know that them talking shit about someone that they just had an experience with, like you and I sitting here right now, me telling you about some shit I had with a boy a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that I have to realize someday in the future that same shit's gonna happen to me. Someone else is gonna be telling the story of how they interacted with me and the experience they had with me. Like,
Yeah.
the world is cyclical like that. People
Bro, it
talk.
is, Lalai. Bro, it really is, bro. That's why I think, some of the most, like, you can't control how somebody feels about you, right? But you can control, like, how you make somebody else feel. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you leave somebody with a good memory of you, or you always keep your word towards them, people will trust you more than you ever imagined, bro. Like, that one instance, bro, that one thing that guy did, bro, I literally, I will never look at him the same again, bro. I don't know if he'll be able to recover from that situation in terms of me and all the other people that also felt this way. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the importance of this, bro, until, like, I really, for many years in my life, me, bro. I used to read books and do all this shit, bro. I didn't understand what personal development really was until, like, the last year. Seriously, bro. Before it was just like, yeah, I'm reading a book, but what the fuck am I reading? How is this impacting my life? How it wasn't even about the things I was reading anymore, bro. Like, I barely
Mm-hmm.
read these days, bro. I I make I learn from more from the experiences and the reflections that I have with myself than any book that I read, bro. because
Mm,
I got to a point, bro, where I evaluate every situation so deeply nowadays, bro. Even the conversations I have with certain people, and it makes me wonder, like, okay, this person's thought process is like this, Um, if something happens that made me uncomfortable, I ask myself, why did this make me uncomfortable? Which part of my life did this like get to?
mm,
Um, and even in my business, bro, because I think it came from the point where, bro, like I would constantly question, the things I was doing in my business and where I was going wrong or what I was doing right and trying to improve it and also becoming better in the gym. I also started to become better in my thoughts, like I wanted to think better clearly, and also, bro, some of the people that like I've met some really great people that are actually emotionally and intellectually, they think properly, bro. After dealing with like negative ass people all the time and shit, and then you finally meet some good humans, they're like, damn, this is what it feels like to actually meet a great person,
mm.
who actually has, sticks to their word, who's very accountable, and who actually, wants to see you genuinely win instead of just be envious of you. That's when like I really had a paradigm shift mentally, at least.
Yeah. The thing you said about books, that's such an interesting thought because I just had that thought I was thinking about that when I was in Scotland about how for like 2 years, I'd say two and a half years, I just read a lot of books.
Yeah,
And at the end of it, I'd be like, cool. Like, but nothing would happen in my life. Like nothing would change. And I've noticed over the last year, it's such a funny thing you said that, bro. I noticed over the last year, it was until like 2023, late 2022, where I was able to make connections between a lot of stuff I've read and a lot of stuff I've experienced. And it strengthened the idea of experience is the ultimate teacher. Like
yeah.
reading shit is just it won't do much. It'll just be theoretical knowledge. It'll just be like nice to hear. Like there'd be books where you'd read some shit and I'm like, damn, that's deep. But like, okay, cool. It's deep on a piece of paper. What the fuck does that mean for me though? And it
You'll
won't be
probably forget about it.
and you'll probably forget about it, yeah, by the time you move on to the next book. And it's so true. Like I barely read. I don't read near I think I've only really finished 2 books this whole year. Like,
Bro, I could honestly say the same thing. Like I I don't value books as much as I used to. I really value my experiences way more, bro, and the people I connect with, bro. I will literally meet a random person in a cigar lounge or, even on the airport, bro, at the airplane, right?
mm,
And that will go long ways than I ever imagined, bro. Or like, I'll be dealing with so many different prospects and clients or whatever, and it'll just teach me something else, or I'll hit new levels in my business and suddenly I'm thinking differently,
mm,
or even my family, bro. I started thinking differently as to how I even see my family, bro.
yeah.
Like we always think of our family as just family, but as you actually evaluate some of the people in your family, you realize, yo, my uncle is actually really toxic. What's like
Yeah, like yeah, you actually do find yourself like this person is a problem. Like the fuck?
bro, seriously, bro. I genuinely like, for a long time, I was always like, like I respect this person so much, everything they say means the world, this is that. And then I realized, yo, this guy is actually a fucking narcissist,
Yeah,
like he's like he's actually deteriorating a part of my life that I never noticed.
yeah. It's crazy. Well, like this is like unveiling thing that happens as you get older and a little wiser and you have more experiences. Like one thing I've noticed is like when I was in high school, there's a lot of guys that were much older than me that I'm like, yo, these guys are cool. These guys are cool. They got all this shit going on. They know how to play sports. They're in shape, blah, blah, blah. These guys would be like 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things about living in St. Cloud was you could play soccer with the guys that are way older than you if you knew how to play. And bro, every time I go back to St. Cloud and I see those guys now, I'm like, what the fuck? Like you were just stuck in time. You didn't change. You didn't nothing like maybe now you weigh a little bit more than you did back then, but aside from that, it's like and you're not that cool. You're actually not that cool. I was naive as hell. Like
Oh no, well, here's the thing, right? I meet a lot of people that I knew from my past life, and I unfollowed all those people from Instagram. Like I don't give a fuck about that shit. I deleted them on Snapchat. They never provided any real value to my life. When I see them again, the conversation and everything is just completely different, bro. First of all, I don't even relate to most people, bro, because most people, at least from back home, they work jobs and they aim for that, and that's all they ever see and imagine and all that shit. And there's no relatability. And even then, a lot of those guys have children now and they're married, and it's like they just want to like congratulate you or some shit. Have you ever hated being congratulated for something that you didn't even think you did? Like
Yeah.
somebody who was I telling this to? There's nothing I like really don't like more than congratulations from people from my past life, or even
Mm,
from even other people. I don't give a fuck, bro. That shit it actually deteriorates me. I hate hearing that shit, bro, because I know like it's just so small, bro. It's really small shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
you look at somebody like Hormozy, who's been an entrepreneur for 6 years, who's doing $200 million a year. Obviously the journeys is different, but you can go fucking congratulate that guy, right? Um, because he actually did something incredible. He did something
mm.
amazing that many people have not done, right? If we see somebody, accomplish a great thing, we would congratulate them, bro. But to congratulate somebody who's barely done nothing, but it seems kind of big to you, just shows how small your thinking is.
Mm. It's that idea of being patted on the back by the wrong person. Like when somebody who hasn't, like, if you know you more than anyone else, but you also know where you're trying to get to. You know, like when so it's such a weird thing when somebody's like tries to congratulate you, or gives you a pat on the back for some normal thing, which isn't that great, but even let's say it's great compared to whatever they got going on, but you know just how much there is between where you are and where you want to go. You know the distance. Right? It doesn't feel that great when that person, especially when people who don't understand what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go, say whatever. Like,
For me, bro, the hardest part is really I love human connection, bro. I love connecting with people like me and you, bro. Every time we talk, we have an amazing conversation because your perspective of thinking is aligned with my perspective of thinking as well, right? But people like that's weird. I'm getting a random ass call from somebody from a while ago. But what the fuck was I saying? That just threw me off, bro.
is that
Um,
about similar thinking?
yeah. So these people from the past, the part that bothers me is really how much of small-minded they're thinking.
Mm, mm,
Bro, it just irks me, bro. It just bothers me because I'm like, bro, well, if you knew how big the world is and how much is actually possible for you, and how many countries there are in the world, you would not be so pressed on being in this small town of 50,000 people. Like the world
mm,
is so much bigger than that. Your thinking is so much greater than that. Think bigger. Like
mm.
seriously.
Yeah, it's such a hard thing to give up because I remember when I was younger, bro. You couldn't have convinced me to do shit. Like I was chilling. I wanted nothing from the world. I wanted nothing from life. But at least like my thing was I knew that. I knew I was thinking small and I was fine with it because I liked where life was at and where things were at just fine. But it's such a little deceptive thing, because you tell yourself you're fine with where you're at and you're happy with the little things, you're fine and whatnot. But in truth, what it is you're just scared to actually try. Like you're scared to admit to yourself you want more, because if you do, then you have to try, and if you don't, it's your fault. Like it's just that. So you have to tell yourself a beautiful little story about how you're happy with your small town, or you're happy with where you're at in life. And life is actually more than, like, I love the one where people say, every time they hear a rich person, they always say, oh, I bet he's miserable, or I bet he's not happy, or life is not all about money, or money won't make you happy. It's like, that's the shit that you have to tell yourself, because if you don't, you have to admit and acknowledge the fact that money would actually dramatically improve your life and you should be going after it, but you're not. And the reason is because you're scared or you think you can't do it. And all of that points the finger back at you. And you have to put the responsibility and the blame and everything back on yourself. And
Bro, what a miserable way of thinking.
yeah, it's just a human way though, right? Like it's such a human way because we try to avoid failure as much as we can for whatever evolutionary reasons or societal or culture. We try to avoid, and it's such a tricky thing, bro, because the mind is so fucking good at being super subtle about keeping you from doing certain stuff. Like I love the people that say I never wanted it anyways. Like,
Wow.
like really, you never wanted it. That's why you tried because you never really wanted anyways. It's like, why not just say I wanted that shit? Fucking hate that it didn't work out. I'm gonna try again. Like,
Bro, well, I guess that's well, it's very true, bro. And maybe that's what made us a little different, right? Me personally, bro, I always fucking wanted more. Like,
yeah,
I fucking hated being in a small town, bro.
yeah,
Bro, I'm at a point in my life where I hate being in a fucking small country. Like, I hate, I fucking hate America so much, bro. It makes me just miserable being there, bro. Like, seriously,
mm.
bro. Now I'm in a point in my life where I'm thinking about where the fuck do I go next? Where do I call home? I don't want
That's
to be like a nomad and
that's
shit,
the exact question I'm wrestling with right now. Literally.
bro. Wallahi al I signed a new lease 3 months ago, and I've never fucking regretted it. Last year, I bought a fucking new car that's $75,000, and I'm just like, why the fuck did I buy this, man? I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm literally battling that, bro. Because, bro, I know for a fact if I spend another fucking year, 2 years, 3 years in Minnesota, I'm done, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm actually I'm done, bro.
Dude,
I
it's
don't
been
know if
I was surprised. I've been surprised for a while that you're still in Minnesota. Honestly. I'm still
bro. I
surprised you're still in Minneapolis.
bro, like I think one of the factors to that has been, I kept some of the same friends that I had for a bit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what kept me there, although we're all entrepreneurs and shit, whatever. But now I'm at a point where I don't have those same friends that I had.
Mm,
Um, so I'm kind of like, okay, what am I doing here now? I'm no
mm,
longer attached to that.
mm. The audio changed a little bit there.
Like I'm no longer attached to those relationships. You know what I mean? Um, and it makes me wonder, bro, because now I'm really thinking like, well, in order for me to get to the next levels of my life that I really imagine for myself, you know, I can't be in Minnesota anymore.
Mm,
Like I have to really like get out, right? I have to meet new people in in other places that also relate to me, that look like me, that are doing bigger shit than me. Because that's the only way my thinking and my money and even my quality of life is going to improve. I know for a fact that when I'm in Minnesota, bro, there's nothing for me to look at and be like, man, I really, this is a great connection I just had. This is like somebody I just met. Oh, fuck, I want to be there. I want to be at that level, and it's really sad, bro. But I'm at that stage where I have to make that decision.
yeah. That's one of the things I noticed when I was in Europe. I didn't know that being around a certain, like surrounding, like just the environment. I knew it was important, but always figured that was more of like the people you're around, the coworkers you're around, things like that. I didn't think that the geographical makeup of a place would have an effect on the way that you feel and the way you move and the way you operate. But when I was in, like, let's say Brussels, for example, Brussels is a pretty damn beautiful place. London, very beautiful. It invokes certain feelings when you're walking around and everyone is dressed well. Like, what, dude? I was in Milan. Practically everyone in Milan wears a suit. Like,
Yeah,
it's a vibe. It feels a certain way. Like the waiters, everyone is dressed. Every waiter is like nice, clean shirt with a vest and trousers, and every person is wearing a suit or a blazer or sports coat or something, and everyone's dressed like they knew they were going out for something. And then I come back to America, and it's like every girl is wearing a yoga pants or some sort of a crop top with a like a hoodie or
Yeah,
some
I,
shit. Every
I
dude's
love that,
t-shirt.
bro. I love that piece you had on yoga pants,
Dude, that shit blew my mind. When I
bro.
it blew my mind, wallah.
Bro, wallahi billah, subhanallah, bro. And like you said, traveling, bro. Maybe that's how we became this way. For me, like I got used to leaving the country every 4 or 5 months, at least, right? A few times a year, and I experienced so many different things and different people, and like when I compare it to home, I'm like, is this really where my home is at? Who told me this is home?
Yeah,
Like maybe my home is somewhere in the fucking Middle East or somewhere in Asia. Where do I really feel at home?
yeah,
And what does home mean to me? What are like the things that I'm looking for that I'm not seeing here? And like you said too, bro, one of those things is like scenery, bro. Like right now, bro, you can see like, I'll open my balcony, bro, and the ocean is right there, bro. Like
yeah,
I look at that shit and I'm just like, what the fuck, bro?
yeah,
Like it makes me feel so much better about myself, bro, and you know, about life.
yeah,
It's not just like, oh, I'm looking at, South Minneapolis, like
yeah,
I drive by and it's just cedar, bro, that's associated with so much darkness, like
yeah.
it's quite sad, bro.
And one of my friends is telling me Minnesota's getting a little iffy. Like crime and tension, everything is pretty high these days.
Bro, it really is, bro. I mean, some of the bad things that happen there, bro, they don't even happen in Kenya.
Mm,
Like, it's crazy how much safer outside the world is than your own home. You know what I
yeah.
mean? All my homies, bro, they carry guns, you know? And it's like, why do we need to do that?
Yeah.
Like, do you really feel
In
that unsafe?
yeah, in Minnesota in
Like,
2023. Yeah.
that's just crazy, bro. And at the same time, too, bro, you see like such a crazy opioid addiction, and it's when gun violence hits close to you, and then opioids hit close to you, you're just like, yeah, man, you know, I have nothing else to do here, like honestly,
Yeah.
because all the people that we knew, they're either just like in a box, they're they have died, or they're just they're comfortable, and that's where like you are the people that you're around, bro. For
Mm,
real, bro. That's probably like one of the craziest lessons I learned, especially since we last did our this kind of conversation, bro. When we were doing that conversation and I saw that video that you reposted, I was like, what the fuck? I'm not even that guy anymore, bro.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's not even who I am anymore,
Yeah. That
you
was a
know?
whole moment. Well, I remember looking back at it too. I was like, what the fuck? It feels like 5 years ago.
Isn't that crazy?
Feels like so long ago, but it was really a year ago. Because
That's
like
so crazy, bro.
like the last 6 months alone kind of like snapped into my head when I saw that. And it feels like I've been through a whole world of life pretty much in those last year.
Bro, like I think about all the things that you've done and all the places that you've been to and all the people
Yeah.
that you've met, and it's like you've had so many different encounters, bro. Even from the encounters of just being in the Ubers or the taxi and having that little conversation. And it's like, bro, last night I met a guy who was like, his name was, most people here, they don't speak English, but this guy's English was good. And he's been dating his girlfriend for 8 years, and he's 23. I'm like, so you start dating her at like 13? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what a fucking experience.
Yeah.
And then he's also a nutritionist. And I was telling him, oh shit, I literally went 45 days with no sugar. And when I had sugar again, it fucked up my entire body. And now suddenly I'm on this new health journey. And I'm just like,
Yeah. That's the best. One of my favorite things about traveling is all the completely random conversations you have with people you know you'll never see again. That shit is just
bro,
so fucking dope.
I think the connections are met because of all the random shit that we do, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
woke up one day, bro, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna have sugar for 45 days.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck did that come from? So random. You woke up one day, took everything in your fucking Challenger, and you just drove around the country.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you were in Italy and Brussels and Belgium and London, and like
fucking
Bro,
wild.
isn't
Yeah.
that's fucking wild, bro. These are the kind of things that like that shapes us, bro. Because we took that kind of like we just do whatever we want to do, bro. And that's
Yeah.
where like I always tell myself like, fucking pleasure is at the other side of pain. Just the real enjoyment of life, bro, is whatever the fuck you want to do, go do it. You know what I mean? If you want to, go live in Egypt for a few months, go do it, bro.
Yeah.
And I've done weird shit like that, bro, where I stayed in Egypt for 30 days plus. I've stayed in Turkey for 30 days plus. I've stayed in Kenya for 30 days plus. I woke up, my friend randomly said, let's go do Umrah. Suddenly we went on this spiritual journey, and my life transformed upside down. And I'm just like, this was the greatest experience of my life.
Yeah.
And it just makes me wonder, bro, like, subhanAllah, all these things happen in such a short period of time.
Yeah. It is Artif. I don't want to. It is an amazing luxury to be able to be spontaneous like that. Like it is like let me tell you why I left Minnesota, right? I had a conversation with a friend of mine. We just went for a walk at the lake and we had a conversation. And I asked him a question because we were talking about he's married and he was dealing with stuff like that. And I asked him, I was like, dude, if you had $10 million in your bank account, what would you do? Because they were having like financial issues and things like that. I was like,
Yeah.
if you had $10 million in your account right now, what would you do? And he went on the list and told me. And then I thought about it when I went home. Like, if I had $10 million, what would I do? And I literally took out a pen and paper and wrote down exactly what I would do. And the first 5 things that I actually genuinely wanted to do didn't have shit to do with finances. And the few that did have shit to do with finances, I could actually do them. And I'm like, okay, then what the fuck are we waiting for?
Let's go do this shit.
Like, let's go do
Bro,
it.
it's incredible. Like, if you never make money an obstacle,
Yeah.
how much money will never actually mean anything.
But also
Bro,
how little money is required to, if you really know what the fuck you want to do, if you really know what you're actually about and what you're actually after, you'd be surprised how much money is required to actually get that thing.
not too much actually. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like at all, bro. You know what? Why people don't do that? They just fear, bro. They're like, okay, maybe if I travel for 30 days, I'm just gonna like I'm gonna die or some shit. No, you're not, bro. You're actually not genuinely, especially if you work remote and you're
Yeah.
not really experiencing life. Like, man, you are missing out. And you're just in a fucking box in your house in your basement in
Yeah.
Minnesota. Wow.
But there's also this other element of, well, there's a huge element of FOMO, right? But there's this other element of if you realize what the hell you actually wanted and what you really wanted to be about, you'd have to let go of all the other shit that is societal based. Like you might have to let go of driving a certain kind of car or living in a certain kind of house so that you can actually live a life that you actually want. Half of the shit that people go after, like I have a friend of mine who makes real good money, like easy good money, and he's not particularly happy with his job. He's getting paid like 160 a year. He's not particularly happy with his job, but there's another job he could take that would make him happier, but he'd be like 50 grand less, 50, 60 grand less. And I'm like, why is this a question? Like, you're doing some shit that you don't want to do so that you can get things that don't really mean all that much to you to begin with. Like, it's a no brainer. Take the job that's paying you less that you would actually enjoy. That means that means you won't get the shit that you don't really want to begin with, but you're going to have a better
Yeah.
series of life. Like,
You're
it's a
gonna have a
no.
better quality of life, bro. You're definitely gonna have a better quality of life. Um, that's one of the things that last year, bro. I lived in a 1 bedroom apartment, right? I was paying $3,100 a month for it, and I realized I was rarely there. You know,
Yeah.
no, seriously, bro. I realized like, half of this year I haven't been there, and I still paid 3,100 times six, right? And I just thought to myself, for what? To improve. I've lived in a luxurious apartments. I've done all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, for what? All I did was waste that money.
Yeah.
Um, so I started making better decisions in my life as an adult. You know what I mean? To not be there so much, still live in a nice apartment, but not have to pay $3,100 because it's not in downtown, right?
Yeah.
Even though in downtown I'm scared for my life, niggas breaking into the garage, bro. Somebody literally in my garage in that building, somebody like stabbed the emblem through my car, and broke the whole logo where it says Mercedes. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a crazy X or whatever, but
At the spot with the 3,100 a month.
yes,
The
yes,
fuck?
bro.
You would think if
Seriously,
you're
bro.
paying that kind of price, you get some
No,
protection in your goddamn garage. I'm assuming it's like an underground garage or something, right?
yeah, bro. But people are that's still happening. If I step outside at night, I know for a fact that it's crazy dangerous outside. Because it's downtown. For
Yeah.
what? Also, it's loud as fuck, bro. Like it's so
It's
loud,
dirty.
bro.
Yeah.
It's so dirty. You got all these people standing around. I'm just like, that's not even the kind of quality of life I actually want to live.
Yeah.
So I moved into a really nice apartment in a safer environment. I'm more at peace. I pay way less, and I'm using that luxury to travel and pay for this nice penthouse I'm staying in.
Yeah.
So it's like I made a better conscious decision for a better quality of life.
Yeah.
Why? Because, bro, who cares about where you're at? Like, if it makes you happier, just do it.
Yeah. I just think it's incredible what's actually required for you to actually be happy in your life. Like half of the shit's just letting go of people's opinions.
Half
Which
of it is letting go of people.
yeah. Yeah, 100% online. But it's just like we do so much, bro. Isn't it? It's fucking mind blowing that you're willing to do years worth of work so you can impress somebody for a moment.
It doesn't even fucking matter who probably talks shit about you.
Who will forget the second they leave? They'll forget. They're not going to think about that shit. They have a whole life to live. Their mind, they operate in a subconscious state of mind. Their mind is literally not capable of holding on to the thought of, oh, that person has a nice house. Like they're going to go on with their life and deal with their shitty situations that they're involved with. But the idea of I'm going to do years worth of work so that for a moment someone can be impressed with my car. I was listening to this podcast and this dude said he used to work as a valet in a fancy restaurant. So he was always parking people's Ferraris and Lambos and Porsches, And he was like, I never saw the person driving the car. Every time somebody pulled up in a Ferrari, I'd be like, ooh, Ferrari. I was so busy looking at the car, I never looked at the person. Imagine you're out here trying to flex on people and people are distracted away from you and to the thing that you were trying to impress them with. They don't even look at you. They don't even notice you. They don't even acknowledge you. They're just so lost in the car, the house, whatever, that they forget to associate you with it.
Wow.
That's fucking crazy.
That's fucking wild, bro.
And it
And
took
that's
you a minute.
literally how the world works, bro. Ain't that crazy? You buy this nice car to impress people. People not even impressed by you.
They just like the car. That's fucking mad. Wallah.
You know what I mean? Somebody like me, right? If I had seen somebody, I would personally try to connect with that person, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, I would say.
most people would not be like doing that. They'd, oh my god, it's a fucking Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. If I see
wow,
that car, I'm like, who's behind that wheel?
what does he do?
What is he up to? What you want, my boy? Yeah. But yeah, for most people though, they'll see that car and they'll just see the car. They get lost in the car. Because for them, I had a friend of mine who went on a vacation. We have a lot of friend stories.
Bro, we have so many different friends.
But I had a friend recently who went on a vacation, right? And it was a pretty big one. It's a pretty important one. And I remember I was like, "Yo, have fun, man." He's like, and he was telling me how much it costs and whatnot. I'm like, "Yeah, that's dope." And he's like, "Yeah, but it's once in a lifetime."
Yeah,
I'm like, "You're 20 years old. You're 20 in your 20s. You're too young to be having once in a lifetime things. If you do something now, you're supposed to like think, okay, that was great. Like move up. Okay, what else
yeah.
that's dope that I can do? What else that's dope that I can do? You can't fucking peak at 20 something years old. That's crazy. What do you mean once in a
What?
lifetime? You got another 60 years coming. Like
Wow.
it's
What the
mind
fuck,
blowing. It was
bro?
I was
Why the fuck do people think like that, bro? I don't understand that, bro. You're 20s, bro. You're in your 20s, my guy.
it's such an interesting thing, wallah. Like imagine peaking in your 20s. And I think that's why a lot of old people are bitter when they're old, because obviously, like a lot of people, the best times are like when they're younger. The best times of
Yeah.
the old days, right? The good old days, right? Man, I'm trying
Bro,
to
I
be.
need, bro, I always tell myself, bro, when I'm 30, man, life's gonna be crazy because whatever I'm doing now ain't shit compared to what I'm gonna be doing at 30.
I feel like life's gonna start at 40 for me.
Bro,
I feel
wallahi,
like it's gonna
insane,
start at
bro.
40. When I get to 40 and like everything starts to line, there's the proper financial capability, good
Yeah.
networks with people, good experience. Then things can start to actually flow and you can connect things properly. I'm like, when I'm 40, hopefully, like if everything comes together the way I hope it does, when I'm 40, I should be able to do some shit.
Yeah, bro. I think that's the one thing I love that, bro, because we're not thinking about just right now. Bro, I could go broke 6 times before 40 and I'll still be good at 40. Like,
Yeah.
so what, bro? Like, okay, I did everything in my power and will to just keep going and keep trying. It's not like I'm gonna just stop.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people become so fearful because if you start that business at 25, bro, and it fails at 30, okay, pick up the pieces and learn from that shit and do it again.
Yeah. Just fucking develop though. Like just develop. Just learn what's better than what you know now.
Yeah,
If you go on this one vacation right now and that's the best you think you'll ever do in your life, then there's a very, very popular and profound quote of a lot of men die at 25 but are buried at 70. Bro,
so
that's it.
sad.
It's so legit though, because like when you think like that, like you're somehow going to accomplish the best that you could ever accomplish in your 20s, then you've
Yeah,
successfully just ended your life in your 20s. It's like,
that's practically committed suicide.
yeah, I'm like, when I get to 40, if I'm in great shape physically, great shape spiritually and psychologically, and great shape financially, bro, I've got 40 years to get some shit. Like, inshallah, I get 40 years, but the average age is 80, right?
Inshallah.
Like,
Yeah,
we
inshallah.
operate as if we operate in these two contrasts of you could die tomorrow, so try to enjoy your life, or and you could die at 80, so try to build something great,
Yeah.
right? You
I
operate like,
think I that's where I think we have to really try to balance at least both because I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna go to that country right now because I'm building something great, right? I could build something great in that country, you know.
we
I
have that
could like,
luxury, yeah.
bro, in this day and age, in
Mm,
2023, like if anything, COVID taught us that we have the luxury to be at home and still do whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah.
To not even need to interact with people because what is it called? We adapted.
Mm,
Like the entire world was forced to adapt, bro.
yeah.
So it's like if we got put in such an uncomfortable situation by force,
Yeah, you adapt if you put one in yourself into it. Yeah.
exactly, bro. Like my friend, he moved from Minnesota to Kenya because he felt the life over there was much better for him. And guess what? He's adapted there, and now he has like a team of 15 people in Kenya, doing work and hustling and grinding it out. Why? Because he adapted, bro. And shape the cost of labor there is so much cheaper.
That's fucking real, one line, bro. Moral of the story: don't die in your 20s, folks. Oh, fucking do it, man. Don't do it, man. There's this idea like there's all these statements that are thrown about life is short and whatnot. Man, life is long as fuck.
Live your
Life
life
is
while you can.
so when you're actually there for it, your life is long. The day is long. Some of these days be long as hell. Some of these weeks be
Well,
long as hell. Like, but then yeah,
bro, I think, bro, if you can wake up every day and you don't have to be excited every day, but at least if you can enjoy a moment in your day that is worth it, then it's worth that
yeah,
entire day. For me, it's like, I love the beach, right? Whenever I'm at the beach, bro, I just feel this ultimate fucking peace in my life. I don't know if it's the sound of the oceans or whatever it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
but I've associated this deep peace of being at the beach. So any moment in my day that I get to enjoy that and be around the beach, I'm extremely happy. I always
Mhm.
tell myself, like, by the time I'm 40, I want to have a beach house that I can just wake up to and just watch the sunrise and watch the sunset and literally live the rest of my life just at peace, because
Yeah,
that feeling is worth it all for me.
Yeah, that reminds me of something Naval Ravikant said, which is paraphrasing something like desire is a contract you make with yourself to be in a state of suffering until you get whatever you want. And one of the problems is that we have way too many desires. Like we just have way too much shit that we want, and so we end up always being in a constant state of uncomfort, like just discomfort. Like we just don't enjoy shit. And so one thing I realize is like if I can just pick 2 to 3 things that make me happy that I like I like coffee, I like cigars, I like the beach or the lake or wherever, and I like working out and I like reading. If I just do any one of those things in combination with one another at any given time, I'm good. So it's like
Yeah,
it's a game of trying to figure out those 2 to 3 things that do it for you, more like 2 to 5 things that do it for you, and then just being okay.
yeah,
Everything else is clearly a distraction. Like just
it
fuck.
is, bro. And I think the best thing, bro, is to not be materialistically attached to things because
Yeah,
things have an end to them, you know?
yeah,
Like attach yourself to experiences, to certain moments in life, you know? For example, taking care of your family, you know, that's a moment that you enjoy. Going to the beach, that's a moment that you enjoy. I think for me, that like one of the best moments is like when I'm on a flight and I'm just looking at outside and it's like during the evening time where the sun is setting on the window and it's like that once in a like that experience at that moment. It's like, yo, you're about to go up thousands of feet in the air and you see how big the world really is because now you're like what the fuck.
dude. That
But that's
first of all, that's dope. Because I'd be looking at that window too and thinking, man, we're about to go thousands of feet in the air, and if this bitch falls, bro, I'd be looking at that shit like, damn, that's a long way down.
bro, that's the one moment I can genuinely say I'll stay still and not even touch
Oh,
my phone, nothing, bro. Like
I wish I could
I,
get to
I
that.
bro, it got to a point where I don't take pictures during that moment because I already have so many pictures of that. I
Mm,
just now just sit and enjoy that moment because, especially in the takeoff, bro, you see how small Minnesota really is.
yeah, yeah, facts. I'm dude. I've taken now enough flights where I'm like, okay, we're cool. This is cool. But I hope, like, I think with time, as I take more flights, I can be able to like get to that super relaxed zone at 30,000
Yeah,
feet in the air. But I'm waiting on that one.
well, I say, bro, inshallah, bro. I feel like as long as we do the things we always want to do, bro, like
Yeah,
life will be amazing, bro. Even if it's hard, right? I love doing things that are fucking hard, bro. Like seriously, bro, because it makes me feel like, yo, if I can do that thing, I
yeah,
can do anything, bro. Seriously, bro. One of the things that I'm trying to accomplish right now is being a content creator and speaking
yeah,
to people and shit. And I'm like, this is fucking hard, and sometimes it's uncomfortable. But like the gym, if I can do this, then I can do anything, right?
yeah.
A year from now, we're gonna do this podcast again, bro.
That.
100, at least 100,000 followers. You know, at least put out at least 50 videos on YouTube, right?
Mm, mm,
Whatever the fuck I want to put out, right? And then, you know, I can say at least I did that, right? If I put
yeah,
out at
yeah.
least 50 videos
Dude,
on YouTube.
that's really the real reason why I'm doing this. Why I'm doing this podcast of because I know sometime down the line, 10 years, 15 years down the line, I'm gonna look back and wonder. I'm either gonna look in one way of 2 ways, or like one, at least I did that. That was cool. Or
Yeah,
two, fuck, I should have done that.
man, I should have done that is the worst fucking feeling.
Yeah,
Nah,
fucking
bro,
hate that.
just do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna avoid that like the plague, bro. I hate that shit. Wallah.
Bro, I think regret is the worst thing, bro. Honestly,
Yeah,
that's why, like, I was really excited to do this talk because, bro, looking back a year from that video you posted, like, it really put me in a fucking moment, bro, of just like,
yeah,
damn, let's do this shit again so we can look back next year.
yeah. It's fucking wild, wallah. But yeah, we'll do it again next year, inshallah. And then actually, now I've got something to look forward to. That'd be dope.
Exactly, bro. Well, like, it's always something to definitely look forward to, and for some reason, I feel like that moment always finds us, and
Yeah,
it just kind of like happens, bro. I think me and you, bro, we've like always aligned every now and then, and it's always been wonderful, bro.
yeah. It's just
Bro, I always tell you, bro, you're actually like one of my favorite people, bro. What, bro? Whatever the fuck you put out, I read, bro. I read your fucking piece on yoga
I
pants,
know.
bro.
I was fucking surprised when you said when you texted me, because like, dude, when I write that shit, I don't really write. I don't expect anyone to actually like hit me back and say, "Yo, it's this and this." So I was super surprised when you actually texted me and were like, "Yo, this is interesting" or whatever. That was
Bro,
dope.
because there's just a few people I find really interesting. Everybody else is like, yeah, I'll probably unfollow you one of these days, you know? Like
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
nothing, like there's nothing, bro. The things that I find interesting is not like how much money somebody's posting or the luxurious life they're posting or their relationship with somebody. It's like when I see somebody actually spitting their thoughts and
yeah.
like writing or saying some real shit, it just catches my eye, bro, because not many people are really express themselves enough, especially on social media these days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody is trying to be either the Alex Hormozy or, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
everybody's
There's a
just
lot of that copy paste. Yeah,
yeah, it's like there's no uniqueness to it. And it's like when you actually see people who are unique in their own way and just being themselves, it kind of makes me want to be like, damn, I like this guy, man. He's fucking cool, you know?
yeah. Dude, let me give you a piece of advice. One of the best things that
Yeah,
I did.
yeah,
I am not following anyone on Instagram that I ever have to wonder, why am I following this person, or should I follow this person or whatever. I just unfollowed everyone, and then the only real people that I'm following is like 10 people, like you, honest, a couple other
yeah,
friends, and then like a total of 50 people, but like something like 30 of them are like Alex Hermosi and David Goggins and like big dog people,
yeah.
And everybody else, I'm like, fuck that. Why am I following you?
Bro, I used to follow like 1,500 people. I brought it down to 400, but
Ooh, that's a
matter, I'm
big
gonna
one.
bring,
Yeah,
I'm gonna unfollow some more
that's
people,
right. Like most of them are just there, saying nothing,
bro.
doing nothing.
No, just watch. Like I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care because
Yeah,
there's nothing that that person can offer me that, like, unless I have like a real connection with that person,
yeah,
I don't care to stay connected.
yeah. If I think you're doing something interesting, I'll happily follow you. Like no problem. If I think you're doing something interesting, and I know that there's a possibility of you posting or saying or doing something in the future that might be even semi interesting, I'll happily follow you. But I'm gonna follow you so that on a random Tuesday you might post a random picture of your Starbucks drink. Like the fuck, come on, man. I had to,
Fuck, man.
and I'm like, dude, I'm a very judgmental dude. Like I'll judge the fuck out of you. I got all these guys posting this like random shit. I'm like, dude, why the fuck are you doing that? Stop that shit. Or why are you lying? I know you. You're bullshitting. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, rather than sitting there clearly judging all these people, just get rid of them.
Bro,
That shit
why
worked out
not,
well.
bro? Like there was this one girl, she got mad that I unfollowed her. Like, why are you mad? You know what I mean?
People, dude, I had people reach out to me talking about like, I'm gonna unfollow you because you're unfollowing me. I'm like, fine. But what the fuck is that? The metrics? Like, what are you getting emotionally attached to this shit for? Follow me if you think I'm doing things that are interesting and you find interest in my content, and don't follow me if you don't find my content interesting. But it has nothing to, like, there's people I know personally that I'm actually friends with that I don't follow because I'm like, I had to have that conversation with them. I'm like, bro, the shit you post is ridiculous. Like, I don't need
Bro,
to I don't need to know that your car broke down. What the fuck?
bro, here's a very interesting thing. There's a few girls on Instagram with like thousands of followers. Uh, those type of girls I don't follow, but if they're cute enough, I'll DM them and we'll chat. Like there's this girl right now I'm literally talking to in the DMs, and we don't follow each other. We've been talking for like the last week.
Right. The fuck? It has nothing to do. Like, people get ridiculous about it. Did I lose you?
Frozen.
Damn, I lost you for a second there. Yeah.
You froze too, bro.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah,
The internet connection. I think that's our cue, bro. We're at 2 hours and some change. I gotta use the bathroom so bad, my boy.
bro. Same, bro. Like I finished.
I downed
Yo,
the
listen,
whole drink plus coffee. I gotta go to the bathroom, my boy. But it was very good talking to you, man. Thank you so much for coming on, my man.
bro. Thank you too, bro. Inshallah, bro. Be safe, man, and I'll catch you somewhere in the world, man.
That sounds good, my boy.
All right, bro.